Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hein Fiber, and welcome to another episode of 2.5 Gamers. I am joined today, as always, by NVZ and Fizzy Stardust. We got a few topics on the agenda today, including some terrible news from Sega, some PS4 rumors, Mass Effect 3, and then some interesting control issues around a couple of games that are coming out or are out already. I'm going to let MVZ and Fizzy take it away for a moment, as I am having internet issues again, unfortunately, so I may disappear a few times during the podcast. So go ahead and take it away. MVZ,
hello,
do what
everyone.
You need to do.
I will do what I need to do. So we're going to start off, obviously, with what we've been playing this week. I generally start because for some reason Fiber's just like, yo, Zed, talk about what you've been doing. So this week, I think Fizz should kick it off. Fizz,
Alright.
Been playing.
Okay. Well, I just gotta say, as always, it's a bit of a stretch for me, since I've only been here half the time. But as far as what I've been playing this week, it's finally happened. What's
happened?
Me, I have been playing Star Wars The Old Republic, and it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life, ever.
Is it the full realization of the fanboyism?
Yeah, it really is. If I could just play this game for the rest of my life, I would willingly give up sex. Who cares? Because
that is some approval, I have to say.
It's that great. I really love it. Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Advance Wars Dual Strike, because I started playing it a long time ago and never really finished. And my girlfriend just picked it up, so I was like, I'm gonna give the game another shot. And what I realized is how much text there is in that goddamn game. Oh my god. Like, the commanding officers, they're so long-winded, it takes forever to get through anything in the game ever. I have no idea what's going on story-wise, because I just do not have it in me to sit there and read it all. It's horrible.
Yeah. Now, that kind of surprises me, because Advance Wars and Fire Emblem are very similar games, but what I thought the scenario was that Advance Wars was like, fuck story, let's just go in there, shoot stuff with tanks and stuff, whereas Fire Emblem is very story-driven. I'm kind of surprised that there's so much dialogue going on. That seems weird to me.
There's a lot of dialogue, but not a lot of story, if that makes sense.
Right.
That's the big problem.
Yeah.
And then other than that, have I been playing anything else? There's a fan-made game. A group of fans made Sonic 2 in HD. They just had the alpha release, and right before the podcast, actually, I played it. There's only 2 levels right now, but it's amazing. It's really awesome. And then also right before the podcast, I actually downloaded the demo for Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS. Impressive graphics.
Very impressive graphics indeed.
It actually, I was like, wow, this is not so bad. I kind of felt like I was playing a PS1 with like worse controls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish I could just like plug in a PS1 controller and play it.
I think it looks a lot better than a PS1 game. It's definitely at least high-end PS2.
Oh yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
It does look very, very delicious. You know.
Yeah, and it was cool. Apparently, you were telling me it's like a lot better with the Circle Pad Pro.
Well, I don't have any experience with the Circle Pad Pro, but from what I've sort of gleaned from reviews and other people talking about the game, it does help, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like aiming did seem kind of clunky and stuff. But
again, we'll touch on that later because we kind of got something about controls later on. So we'll delve into that as that happens.
Have I been playing anything else though? No, mostly just Star Wars: The Old Republic.
And what about Star Wars: The Old Republic? Do you think it's hooked you most?
Lightsabers.
I'm not like very familiar with the kind of combat style. How similar is it? Do you know much about World of Warcraft, and how similar is it to that sort of MMO style in terms of the combat system?
I was like a subscriber to World of Warcraft for like a month, maybe 2. And it's your basic freaking MMO types thing. The only thing that I found different is like your like basic attack, you actually have to keep clicking it or hitting the button instead of just like having an auto attack. So it kind of keeps you in the game the whole time.
I guess that's good for engaging you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, it's kind of nice. I liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, if you're an MMO fan, it's gonna be easy to pick up and play.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Star Wars, so it's got the extra bonus. You can be a
Exactly.
bounty hunter. That's awesome.
hmm
Or
I think
Jedi or Sith.
the main draw of it is a Star Wars thing. Star Wars has so much cachet in general. So
Yeah, but it's not only that. It's just like it's good story all around, anyways. Like
That's the main pull of Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's that
It really is.
story driven. Everything is completely voice acted. There are a lot of cutscenes. It's essentially, and you can play it as Knights of the Old Republic 3 rather than as an MMO, which is how a lot of people have gotten themselves into it.
hmm
yeah, I mean that is the main pull. It's like it's a good game, but on top of that, for me, it's Star Wars, so it's a great game.
So they basically like take magic and replace it with force powers and all that thing, sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, if you run Sith or Jedi, but you can also be like a smuggler, so you can fancy yourself a Han Solo.
Okay,
you
that's
can
cool.
You can be like a trooper. You can be also a bounty hunter, or I'm drawing a blank. Agent.
What?
It's an agent.
Imperial
What's the
Agent.
agent? There it is.
It's
Imperial
literally
agent.
called the Imperial Agent.
Yeah, well, I couldn't think of Imperial. So, I mean, yeah. It's awesome.
Very
It
cool.
really is. So.
Very cool. And have you got like what's your subscription for that at the moment?
It's $15 a month.
Mhm.
But are you what do you call it? Are you gonna be paying for that for a while now?
I'm not subscribed yet. I'm actually on a friend demo from our friend Jakey Wakey Fiber Hybrid.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, but it is going to be. I am going to start subscribing to it as soon as possible, and I'll probably be playing it for a while.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So come be a Jedi with me.
I would love to if I had a computer that was not a pile of shit. Unfortunately.
Honestly though, my computer's not that great. I only have 4 gigs of RAM. It's old. It's a few years old, and my internet is horrible. It runs the game fine. The only things that it does kind of hiccup is when you get into like an interaction with someone, when you have like it's like a cutscene like story bit where you're gonna talk to someone and have a conversation. It does lag a little bit there, but other than that, it's fine. And you've seen the speed tests of my internet. It's bad.
Yeah, we know. It's okay.
We've seen your speed test results. It's pretty
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah.
it's pretty terrible. But I can run the game just fine. Granted, I'm running it on the very last graphic setting, which is called very low,
Mm-mm.
but it still looks good. So
Okay, awesome.
I'm fine.
Very good. Alright,
What
so, okay.
What have you been playing?
Well, I have a few things that I've been dabbling in this week. I think the main thing that I invested time into was the PlayStation Network title Journey, which has been receiving rave reviews and critical acclaim and just all the stars all across the sky. It's like got 6 out of 5 stars everywhere. Everyone loves it. And basically, I basically made the decision to purchase this before I had even purchased it, in a sense, because I was at uni and I couldn't download it, so I was like, as soon as I got home, I didn't even think twice about it. My credit card info was already on the PlayStation, so that works perfectly fine, unless, of course, they're going to have another hacking incident, but whatever. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna hack it.
yeah, get all my credit card info. But then, basically, I just went in. It's so easy to just download something when your credit card info is already there. You just click it and it does it. So I was like, okay, that's £10 down the drain. Cool. I don't care. This is going to be an awesome game and I'm going to play it. And everyone recommended, like everyone who's reviewed the game, everyone who's played the game has said, sit down, take 2 hours out your day and just play this game from start to finish. And I decided to do that. I just had to sit down 2 hours, just go through it and experience it. And it really is an experience. It's calling it a game is, I guess, arguable by some people. I certainly think it is. It has mechanics that qualify it as a game as such. You know, there's things, there's objectives, there's interaction and all that stuff, and it really is something that you have to experience. And all I'm going to say really is you should just buy it and experience it. Now, the most interesting thing about it, I find, was the multiplayer component. I think that was the one thing that hooked me most about the game. Because what you are, essentially, you're this cloth person, you're wandering around this wide open desert, there's lots of sand and crap everywhere, and it's really, you have this objective to get to the top of this mountain, and you basically just have to get there by going across the dunes and then going through other places and platforming puzzles and all that kind of stuff to get there. But as you go along, you'll randomly see, like, in the distance maybe some other person there who is also on the journey, who's playing at the exact same time as you are, but their world is basically synchronized into yours, so you're essentially playing on a server sort of thing. It just connects you basically instantaneously, and you interact with each other in real time. The difference with this is you don't know their PSN name, you don't know anything about them, they're just another traveler, they're very unidentifiable, and the only way you can really communicate with them is by just bleeping. There's one button which sets out a signal from your head, it's like a little bleep, and it kind of changes every time you tap it, it does a slightly different noise. And that's basically your only means of communication between you and this other unknown person. And so, it really is, in essence, if you find someone who is also on their first time going through the game, you both kind of experience things and find things and help each other out as you go along, to find secrets and add-on stuff and whatever. And it's very, very interesting because you come across some people who've already beaten the game and will be a lot more experienced and know where things are, and you can kind of follow them. Or you can find someone who has no idea what they're doing, and you either have the same experience as that person, or you're trying to, go through it again for trophies. And what I kind of did was I met this person to start with who obviously knew what he was doing. He was going from place to place, like picking up every upgrade that he could possibly get, and we went past this thing in the middle of the desert, and there was a freaking a trophy thing that I would never have got. There's this tiny thing in the desert that you had to find, and it was a trophy I wouldn't have got, completely random off to the side, and I wouldn't have any idea. But this professional guy who'd already played it like 2 or 3 times clearly was going through it to get all his trophies and everything. So I followed him for a while, and then we kind of got separated, and I was on my own again. And eventually, like maybe around halfway into the game, I found another guy. But this was a lot better. I found this was much better experience because this guy clearly was going through the game for the first time as well. And so what we found was we were both sort of experiencing the same things at the same time, very very fresh. And there were a lot of times when I would see something in a crevice and I would kind of go in there and bleep my thing, and he would be off in the distance, and I'd just be standing there tapping on my sound signal, like, come over here, look, there's something, I found this, come get it. And eventually he'd be like, okay, I'll come over here and we'll get it, and then and that's basically what happens. So it's a very, very interesting game. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish it with that same guy because, what do you know, internet problems. My internet fucking cut out, like we were right at the end of the game, like 10 minutes from the end, and my internet died. So I'm like, no, I wanted to finish with this guy. We had such a bond, It was a great adventure, and we went, really, really, really far. And unfortunately, at the very end, I had to finish it on my own. But definitely highly recommended. Highly, highly, highly recommended. If you have a PlayStation 3, just download it. Don't even think twice about it. Download it, play it, experience it, done. That's how you do.
I honestly think you've sold me on it. Because I was thinking about it, and I kind of knew what it was sort of about, and I was like, who the fuck would want to play this unless you're tripping balls?
Right.
But
it actually looks really, really good too.
Yeah, it does look good.
Graphically, it is phenomenal. I mean, if you thought that the sand stuff in Uncharted 3 looked good, this blows out the water. It's freaking phenomenal. Like, the sound effects, the physics is incredible. That game company really are artists, as it were. Very artistic, especially, they've done 2 games previous to this that are very artsy. Like a game like Flower, which some people could barely consider to be a game. But, I mean, very, very awesome stuff. So.
And now they can actually make games on things that aren't PSN.
Exactly. This is their third title. They have ended their sort of agreement with Sony. They can go off and use other platforms and do other stuff. But they did a fantastic job on this game. Definitely a fitting end to this kind of trilogy of games, I guess. So definitely just get it. I wouldn't even think twice about it. Sit down 2 hours, go through it, experience it with another person. Amazing. Definitely do.
The best part is, you don't even just experience it with one person. You experience it with a bunch of people.
Of course. I mean, I met 4 people in total. There were 2 people who I had proper experiences with. The first guy who knew everything and was taking me around, I was just basically following him. I didn't know where the hell I was going. I just followed him, got some extra things, got some secrets. And basically the main mechanic of the game is that you find these pieces of cloth, and you have to basically collect these upgrades which will extend the length of your scarf, which will give you a longer jump. So you basically have this scarf that recharges when you find pieces of cloth, and if you get upgrades along the way, your scarf will get longer and longer and longer, and by getting longer you'll be able to fly through the air for a longer distance and basically a longer amount of time. So that was basically what was happening. And then these other 2 guys kind of just passed me by. I was trying to get this one upgrade, and these 2 guys passed me by and just left me behind. And then the 4th guy who came along, who was the guy who I did most of the game with, he got to the same place that I was. He was obviously having trouble with the same thing that I was having, and both of us just kind of went up and got the upgrade, and then he waited for me, and we went off on our adventure again. So that was it.
Right on.
Indeed.
Yeah, you pretty much sold me on it. I got a day off tomorrow after I go do all my stuff. I actually might just come home and buy it and play it, and just why not?
I think that's a very good idea. So that's pretty much that. Anything
else you've been playing? Or
I've been playing a few other things. I guess there are a couple of things worthy of mention. There are a couple of rhythm games I was playing. First of all, I was playing Rhythm Heaven on the DS. The Rhythm Heaven games are well known for being kind of like WarioWare in their style. They are kind of like not really micro games, more mini game kind of style, but all the mini games are based around rhythm and based around tapping and using the touchscreen at specific times to be able to be in rhythm and get high scores and that kind of thing. It's sort of a high scoring type thing, but it's a lot of fun. There's lots of different mini games, and it uses touchscreen and button controls both, so you can switch between the two. You don't have to be tied to touchscreen stuff. It's very interesting, but Rhythm Heaven has a point at which you will want to smack your head against the wall, because there's this one mini game that is difficult as shit, and there's no skip button. I believe in the Wii version you can skip past a game if you can't complete it, but I went through the first 4 games, got to the 5th one, I was like, giant nutsacks, I can't beat this, so I don't know, I'm done. I
man up and beat it.
It's so hard. I think the problem is that the controls are being really unresponsive. It's very hard to time it. It's basically this table tennis mini game, and you have to hit it in rhythm, and the rhythm will change up. It'll be slow, fast, normal, and it'll just keep changing up and stuff. And it will just ruin your brain if you try, and your hand, because it's just, I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun game. I might try and go back to it, try and push through. But, I mean, it was interesting enough. I guess I would like to try another Rhythm Heaven game. If I were to try one, it would probably be the Wii version. The Wii version has got a lot of good reviews and is pretty highly acclaimed. From a few podcasts I listened to said it was very good. So I might try that out in sometime in the future, but if not, then hey, that's what happens. And then the other rhythm game was a demo for Rhythm Thief on the 3DS eShop, which I downloaded, and this is a lot more fun. This is a very polished game. It's kind of like a story-based adventure. You play this guy who, he's a thief, and he's going through different scenarios. He runs through this museum trying to steal something, and you have to, pose in front of statues to hide yourself from the guards. And it's all done to a rhythm, to a theme song, and all that good stuff. And it's a lot of fun. I'll probably go pick it up as soon as I have been able to find it cheap, I guess. It's very fun. Lots of good stuff there. So I recommend you go check that out if you have a 3DS, download the demo. It's up on the eShop right now. Do that. That's good fun. And
Will do.
I guess otherwise, I was playing some more Uncharted 2. Very good game as always. I think I'm around 80% of the way through the game at this point, very close to finishing it. I should be able to finish it by next podcast. But what's a bit more interesting was this afternoon I was playing some co-op Uncharted 2 with Spade, the Flaming Spade, and he actually just uploaded, really, I didn't expect him to upload this quickly, but we did it like 2 hours ago and he's already got a video up. But you can go check that out on his channel on YouTube, Flaming Spade, and me and him just go through some co-op multiplayer stuff. A lot of fun. We get our asses kicked in the first round because we decided to do survival mode first off, which is basically they just throw hordes and hordes of enemies at you and you have to survive. Didn't last long, I have to say, mainly because Spade's controls were screwed up and I was just flailing around like a moron, and the third guy, he was just standing there like he was trolling the hell out of us. He was stupid. But I mean, it was a lot of fun, and then we went to do the objective-based gameplay, which was much better. Much more interesting. You basically go through a level, and you have to reach the objective, which is where the treasure chest is, and then you get the treasure, so that's how that goes. But Uncharted 2 multiplayer, very fun. I will probably pick up Uncharted 3 as soon as I'm done with Uncharted 2, and then we'll probably do some Uncharted 3 multiplayer, which I've heard is even better than the second game, so looking forward to that, definitely.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Indeed.
Good stuff.
So, Jake,
If my internet
have you
will
been
let me to
playing?
say,
Yeah. It will.
I
Just go ahead.
have been playing a few things, assuming that
League of
Legends.
LOL, League of Legends.
Oh no, now that we made fun of him, his internet dropped off.
Oh dear
Genius.
Lord. Oh,
So
dear.
genius.
Oh my god. Okay.
So, I guess,
Fizz, you can
so-
do a good Jake impression. You can.
so anyways, guys, I've been playing, League of Legends. I like.
Oh no, I haven't. Screw you. This week I've been going through my Steam account. I've been playing some Dota 2, but mostly been playing Sequence and Orcs Must Die.
Excellent. Briefly.
Sequence is a music-based rhythm game. All you need to know. Can't stay.
Yeah. Brilliant. Fantastic. So we've both been playing rhythm games this week. Excellent.
All right, so let's move on then. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm for Harold Newsmar.
Is it? We don't have a Fuck You Japan section this week, unfortunately, because
Yeah, we don't.
we have no idea what they're doing in Japan right now.
They're doing something crazy, I'm sure.
Some crazy off the wall, but nothing to report this week.
Let's move on to Harold Newsmar.
Harold Newsmar! That's the intro theme for
Oh,
Harold.
good. I'm gonna bring up something like really briefly that we can talk about since Jake's having problems right now.
Right.
But one thing that I thought was really cool, community, the Modern Warfare 3 community,
Right.
is the players. I think ever since like they found out that like people have a voice, they're
Wow,
really
I can talk? Jesus
They're-
Christ.
they're really angry about like post-launch support and all that stuff, and so they're organizing a day-long sit-in, so to speak, where they're not gonna play the game at all on April 20th of this year to show that they mean business and they want their support. There's like a laundry list of things that they want, but you know, and I just thought it was really interesting that they're going to lengths like that. Like before, it wasn't really thought of. I think it's kind of like, the backlash of, Mass Effect 3, where everyone hated the ending. So like now,
Yup.
we'll talk about that later, but so they're gonna do something about it.
Mhm.
Completely ridiculous. But I thought it was really cool for a community to band together and just like sock it to them.
Yeah.
They just need to accept that Modern Warfare 3 is a perfect game and get over it.
Cannot be improved on.
It
So
cannot
good.
be improved. There's a reason they don't have any post-release success
Yeah.
or anything of that nature.
Exactly.
Patches are for noobs.
Yeah, fuck patches.
There you go.
Interesting stuff. And now, I guess, we dive into Harold and Newsmar. Proper.
Yeah.
So,
Let's-
boys and girls, what has been happening in the industry this week?
Take it away, Jake.
Jake it away.
Nubs it away, Nubs.
I'll nub it away. Okay. Right, so Jake's the one who brought up the Sega thing, and I really don't know what the hell to talk about, so we'll wait for him on that.
Okay.
For what?
So,
Sega.
There you go.
Oh,
Shoot.
Sega lost $86 million, and they are cutting a lot in terms of releases and all of that stuff.
Reasons being?
They lost $86 million.
I mean,
That is the reason.
like how?
Obviously, they have not been doing nearly well enough to continue with their current marketing
Project.
schemes and whatnot, so they're going to be cutting back to save on money, and obviously you're probably going to hear in the near future about some cuts of people.
Yeah, and they're talking about cutting current games that are currently in like development right now. There's no list currently, but I'm sure you'll hear about that soon. Basically, they're saying they're still gonna go forward with like Sonic the Hedgehog, Football Manager, Total War, and Aliens. If you're looking forward to a Sega title other than that, it's probably gonna get cut. They're gonna scale back a tremendous amount, but they still expect to post profit within the fiscal year, which is crazy. But I guess when you're gonna cut back that much, it's probably not hard to do. So that's what Sega's doing right now. They're sucking on a major level.
That sounds pretty terrible to me.
It
As
does.
long as they don't cut Skies of Arcadia, I don't care about the rest of it. They can cut Sonic the Hedgehog, but they better not cut Skies of Arcadia.
Indeed. Anyway, so what does this mean? Is this shitty, or do we really care? Like Sega have a little bit of a bad rep, I guess, these days. They don't really put out the most high quality games.
Sega hasn't been relevant since the Dreamcast.
It is a
And
problem.
even then, they weren't really that relevant.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a problem.
No one knew how to take the Dreamcast.
Yeah. The Dreamcast was a doozy. I'll give you that
I
one.
like how we
Yeah.
always go back to the Dreamcast.
Ah,
That is how
yes,
good
the
it is.
Dreamcast.
It's so good.
It is the greatest system ever made. Screw you.
Dude,
It is.
yeah,
I don't care.
it's pretty cool.
The Dreamcast should be our mascot.
We should
I have to buy.
get
I'm gonna
Zoe
buy
to-
one.
Zoe
I
should draw
have
one.
one right here. I'm
You're an
looking at
asshole. I hate
Zoe-
you.
it. Right
Zoe-
there.
Zoe should edit the photo with like Fiber holding a Dreamcast instead.
I'm gonna play
it
virtual
would
tennis
have-
after this podcast. I don't care.
Do it. Why
Yeah.
not?
I'm gonna fucking play Power Stone 2, motherfucker.
Hell yeah. You do that. You do what you like, man.
I will.
You fight the system. Yeah. Damn straight.
Cool.
So yeah, Sega.
Sega. I've liked Sega, sure. They've had good games, sure. They've had terrible games, sure. But in the end, who really cares?
I would
Sega.
care if Sega got to the point where they couldn't make anything anymore and they were out of business. I would be legitimately sad.
Well, they did have Soul Calibur, and that's something that I am interested in. So that was.
Could you imagine a world without Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a lot more red with M's and moustaches.
However, I can't imagine a world without Game Gear. So
Oh my god.
Segway.
I won't let it go.
Okay,
Obviously.
Game Gear game.
Yeah, we could segue into that if you'd like.
It's not even a thing, but Game Gear game's now available. Fizzy Stardust, when are you going to be downloading your first Game Gear game on your 3DS?
He already
After
has it.
this podcast,
Hell yeah, what's it going to be?
what they got? Sonic, Shinobi, and the other thing.
Yeah,
He's obviously going to go for Shinobi.
Yeah, obviously.
Duh.
I am waiting for a new Shinobi game, so the commercial can just be like, Shinobi's back!
Oh, awesome.
Because everybody remembers the old Shinobi commercial.
There is a Shinobi 3DS game on that note, but I don't know how well received that was. I guess it was okay. I heard a few good things about it. But you could go find that Fizz somewhere, I guess, if you wanted to. You know, it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool, yo, homie.
Yo,
Homie dog, jeez.
yo, bro, ho. But I guess yeah. In terms of my own personal involvement with Sega, I liked a lot of the stuff that they did with the Game Boy Sonic games, the DS Sonic games. Those are very solid in my opinion. I really like those a lot. And I guess Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was a fun game when I was younger, just kind of nostalgia's sake kind of thing. But otherwise, I'm not really too sure about it. You know, company's a bit weird here and there, so they do interesting stuff, which is strange. And stuff.
Oh, right. Where did I leave off?
I don't even know, but something was cooking.
Oh, Shinobi. I just want to have the 3DS version. I don't want to buy it. I just want to have it. Because I'm not
I'm
fully...
pretty sure you can find it for about $20 somewhere.
I'm not... $20 is manageable. Because I really want it, and I deserve to have it.
You do.
That's it. I just deserve to have it. But I don't know how great of a game it's going to be, so...
Maybe you should just get someone to do it. That's fine.
I need a video game sponsor.
Indeed, you
so
do.
I just have games.
Right.
But yeah, I'll be getting Shinobi for the 3DS. Absolutely.
Indeed. So, Faris, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, we're doing a podcast. Okay. I've been playing a lot of StarCraft.
Awesome. Yeah.
What podcast is this? 2.5 Gamers?
Yep.
Yes, it is, Ferris. How are you today?
But there's 5 people in the call.
Well,
So we're...
I am going to just interject here for a moment. Hopefully I can get away with this without disconnecting again, but my internet has gotten to the point where I do not think I can be a part of this podcast for this episode, and so I'm going to have to say farewell and wish...
But we have Faris here as a stand-in.
Sure.
Indeed.
And there, he's gone now. Oh, he's back? He's gone.
No, this is too much. It's too much.
Here lies Jake's internet, who got raped pretty hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we were saying, we were on the topic of Sega fucking itself. Basically, Ferris Sega lost a lot of money, and they're cutting. They're cutting
Yeah.
shit.
They're cutting back tremendously.
Hmm.
People are gonna get laid off. They're only pursuing a few things. Game projects are gonna get tanked. They lost a ton of money, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Game Gear games on the 3DS, that's all I care about.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Shinobi, then I'm gonna get the Hedgehog guy, Sonic.
The Hedgehog guy. He's
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Well, let's move forward and Harold and Newsmar, and let's go to the big meat and potatoes of the whole entire thing. Shall we?
Shall we indeed?
I like meat and potatoes.
Don't
There we
we
go.
all?
The next PlayStation is gonna be called the Orbis. It's possibly just the code name.
It is
but
the code name.
the code name.
I do not think I will live in a world where Sony will call their next console the Orbis.
And I don't think we live in a world where I own a Nintendo Dolphin and a Nintendo Revolution.
Exactly.
So-
I would have loved
Yeah.
to have a Nintendo Dolphin.
I would have loved a
that would have
Revolution.
been. I wish that Nintendo named all their game consoles Dolphin.
Yeah.
Just like Dolphin 1, Dolphin 2, Dolphin 3.
Would have been fantastic.
Dolphin
Echo the
64.
Dolphin, oh my god.
Oh my gosh, he's back.
Or
my
not. Okay.
They'll just be here in and out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'll just be in and out, but I just want to say Kotaku is terrible and they're lying. Don't listen to anything MVZ or Fizzy's have to say.
Yeah, Kotaku's one of those sites that just Jake hates because oftentimes they could be wrong. But it is just a rumor, but it's a rumor worth talking about.
Their rumor is based on a quote unquote source. I'm sorry, if this is going to be legit, Sony themselves would come out and say this already.
No. Okay, Kotaku cannot reveal their sources. People cannot.
It's a journalism thing.
It's a journalism thing. You cannot reveal sources just for protection and everything.
My point is, who is their source? Is it somebody worth
We don't
being
know.
talked to?
You
So
can't
that's my
tell
point.
who the
If
source is.
somebody worth being talked to, Sony would have come out and said something already.
Okay, apparently my microphone's too quiet. I have no idea why that is.
Sounds fine on my end.
Yeah, you sound
Yeah,
fine.
you're fine.
Okay. I have no idea why it's so quiet for the stream, but I will try and talk up.
Well, that's 3 fines and a McBoss, so I think we're okay.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're fine.
No, on the source thing with Kotaku, they can't reveal their sources. It could be a perfectly legitimate source. It could be some guy living on the street talking.
It could be Dave from accounting, but nobody gives a shit about him.
But we do not know that. We cannot tell anything about that because they cannot reveal it. It's just under journalistic
Here's my issue.
binding contract that they can't do it.
Here's my issue, though. You're talking about a source, and this is big news that they have been dropping for these rumors.
It's huge. It is big.
If Kotaku is going to go out and find this stuff, Sony would have come out and said something because of how dramatic these rumors are. This isn't something that is, the PS4 is coming out in a year. Like, that's fine. You can do that rumor. But if you're saying no backwards compatibility, we're basically going to drop the PS3, which we've been done such a good campaign for, like a rock. I don't think it's a viable source. And if it is, I guarantee you by the time some legitimate news comes out from Sony, this will be revisited and it will be changed.
We'll see. I mean, Sony obviously are not going to comment on this because no company does. They do not comment on speculation and rumor. It's stupid to do so. So we have no idea. But lots of sites are picking up this news, and I guess a lot of it obviously is due to driving traffic. We know this kind of thing happens a lot. They want hits on their website, yes. But it does seem very interesting. I doubt that the PlayStation 4 is anywhere close to being even revealed or anything like that, but it is very possible that dev kits are going out, or even early dev kits are going out to people, just so that people get acquainted with it. Because if Sony want to get a hold on the market as soon as PlayStation 4 hits, they want to have some strong lineup, they want to have developers who know what they're doing with the hardware. So it seems, I guess, right to be giving them stuff at this early stage in the game. And even if, it isn't going to happen anytime soon, maybe this hardware is very, very high-end, very complex, to the point at which they need that much time to be able to get to grips with it. So we'll see.
They actually, hold on, I have to pull up the IGN thing now. They actually discussed the rumored
release date
specs. No, or rumored
the specs.
The
the AMD.
The 64, which would
AMD
be a good
X64, and then their GPU is like it has the ability to. It could play the resolutions up to 4096 by 2160.
Yeah, far more than TVs can handle.
At that point, it just becomes overkill.
It does, yeah.
And they can play 3D games in full 1080p.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's crazy.
Am I the only one who just really does not care about those kind of specs?
I don't care about specs in general. It's just, as long
you don't know what specs are in general. So.
As far as this whole rumor thing goes, while I still have the connection, I'm going to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of the rumors that came out from Microsoft's 360 or 720 being released at E3 this year,
Okay, and he's gone.
No.
It's fine. Let's recall and see if he can get back.
Well, I'm sure he'll be back soon. But
he'll be back.
If I could,
go on, hit me.
I'll talk a little bit about what has rumored, what's rumored right now.
Yeah.
So, the specs we just talked about, the rumored release date is 2013 for the holiday season, which is really, really soon.
Yeah, it is.
For another console right now. I mean, like, I can't even fathom why you would need to release another console right now, especially when the PS3 has gained so much momentum as of late.
The only company that needs to release a console is Nintendo, and that's because their hardware is behind. They're behind in the hardware race, and they have nothing on the software side lined up for the rest of this year. They have to get a console out.
I gotta say though, I think it's kind of funny how Nintendo is trying to make it a point that the Wii U is going to have better specs than the 360 or PS3, as if that's kind of like a point in their favor. I mean, the 360 and PS3 are like, what, 5-6 years old at this point?
It is, yeah, they are very
so
old.
I mean,
older.
Yeah, and then when Sony and Microsoft, actually do release their new systems, they're just going to take wild, ferocious dumps all over the Wii U, and it's just going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, but the Wii U will have the edge slightly. It will be slightly more powerful than the two systems. That's not to say that it will have anywhere near the same sort of horsepower as the next generation will. But, I mean, it will have a little bit of time in the marketplace where it will be the most powerful console, which hasn't happened for Nintendo in a while, so I guess that'll be a little bit nice. But we'll see as soon as the problem I find is that the next generation of consoles won't be a huge leap. In terms of graphical prowess, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Like, there won't be that much of a big difference. We've reached a real point at this point where graphics have gone almost as far as they can go. Sure, you can shore up some textures, make things look a little bit better, but until you get to the point of photorealism, then there really isn't much else to be pushing the boundaries on. So, we'll see how that goes.
Xbox 360 has been out since 2005, so you're looking at like 8 years.
Jeez, wow.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, but they have a 10-year plan, so obviously it's working out.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing with my biggest thing with the advancements in the next console generation are that I want more innovative games, because I feel like it's so repetitive with a lot of the games that are, released with, especially on the PS3 and 360. I mean, at least the games that are made on the Wii, while they are really crappy most of the time, a lot of them are innovative in some way or another.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing with Nintendo. Nintendo are the leaders in innovation. Sony and Microsoft, they follow in their wake because Nintendo know how to innovate. Take a look at any of the things that Sony have added to any of their consoles. They originally started on a Nintendo system. I mean, most of the time you'll find that is true. So, I mean, it happens a lot, and I guess that's just what they do.
There's a fine line between innovation and gimmick, though, and I feel like Nintendo has just smashed that line, made it completely unclear, what's actually innovative and what's gimmicky. Like, I feel like the real innovation you find now is with like indie developers who release games like on Steam or something, because there's so many good games that are just in that niche now. Mm-hmm. And like I think one of the first games that comes to mind for me is Rayman Origins. Like, it's just one of the few genuinely fun like platformers that have been released in a long time, and I play it and I'm just like, this is so much better than a lot of the stuff that's being recycled.
Now, I feel the reason Rayman Origins got such a warm reception is because there is nothing like it on the 360 and PS3. Whereas on the Nintendo consoles, there have been a ton of fantastic platformers in the last few years. You've got Donkey Kong Country Returns, Kirby's Epic Yarn, the new Super Mario Bros. Games, like 3 hard-hitting first-party titles that all, I mean, are equal to Rayman Origins, at least. I think the reason that Origins was so highly reviewed is because these other people who don't have that much experience with Nintendo platformers feel, this is a very cool thing on our system, we never get something like this, and therefore they gave it, I guess, a more favorable score for that reason. But it is a great game. I mean, I haven't played it personally, but I've seen lots of footage and I've heard lots of good things about it, so definitely very interesting. So,
gonna rein you guys in a little bit.
All right.
Since there's a lot of these, like a lot of rumors to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is like I mentioned before, like PS3 has like so much momentum right now, and one of the rumors for the PS4 is no backwards compatibility at all, not even like first gen. So that's one of the rumors that I'm not thinking I'm gonna take to heart too much.
I don't think I would.
To just, you want to know why?
You want to know why that rumor is terrible? And there's a quote on the IGN. Not just that. There's a quote on the
No, go ahead.
Hit me. Go on. He died.
No. In the IGN article, there's a quote that says, "Are you buying a PlayStation 4?" I'm here, goddammit.
Yeah, okay.
There's a quote on IGN. It says, "Are you buying a PlayStation 4 to play PS4 games? Are you buying a PlayStation 4 to play PS3 games?" I don't have a problem with that, but I have a problem with you're going through all these steps to put PS2 and PS1 games on your PS3. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to have to do that to put them on the PS4, which just seems like a hell of a lot of work to me, especially with how much push you're doing right now.
Now, the reason I think that this may legitimately be true is that Sony have been pushing the digital space a lot more than the other two companies have. And the reason that this could be true is if they wanted to force feed PS1, PS2, and PS3 games all as downloadable content through the PlayStation Store, instead of supporting them in backwards compatibility in terms of discs. And that's where I feel they would potentially...
Okay, so about the $400 I have in video games are now useless?
Essentially, I mean, they have every right to do that. Sure, it would piss people off a hell of a lot, but they can legitimately do that, and they can say, we're just going to put all the PS3 games on the store now. They're doing it with Vita. I mean, you do have the option with Vita to buy retail, but by the time PlayStation 4 comes out, will retail really be, a big deal?
They will have to give you
great
a way...
segue.
No, hold on. They will have to give you a way to keep the games that you have already purchased for the PS3 and prior to put them on the PS4. If there's anything we've learned in recent weeks or recent months, is that you don't piss off the video game community, because they will stand up and say, fuck you, we're not supporting you anymore.
True, yeah.
Look at Mass Effect, look at even the Kickstarters that have going on. Gamers will stand up and for what they believe is right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go along with what MBZ's saying, another one of the listed rumors is you'll be able to get games for one of two ways. You can either buy a Blu-ray disc or a PSN download. And when you buy an actual copy of the disc, it's going to be locked onto a single PlayStation Network account. And meaning, if you buy the game and you return it to like GameStop or whatever, you're still going to have that game always. It's always on your account listed as downloaded, so you can always just download it right to your console and play it right away. And what is that going to do to GameStop is it's going to hurt them a lot, because the problem with that is they are going to also put a lock on used games. So what is rumored to happen is that if you get a pre-owned game, it's going to be somehow restricted where you don't get the full game.
Indeed.
Now, if something like that happens, which is, I think, completely possible, considering just the direction in general of like how games are being sold right now, and all the we talked about Arkham City, how like you needed to buy the game new to get the Catwoman stuff,
right,
to actually enjoy the full game.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's could be viable. Something that could be true, and if that happened, GameStop is going to just hurt a lot, and conversely, GameStop could just refuse to carry, Sony products at that point also, because why would they?
Indeed, they could exactly do that.
I'd just like to touch on something that somebody said in the stream real quick about if they have a PS3, they could play PS3 games with that. Why would they need a PS4 to play their old games? When a system comes out, there is always a deal. Bring in your old system, you'll get X number of dollars off. Nobody's going to go out and buy a PS4 for $600 on release or a $720 for $600 on release when you can get $120 off by taking in your old console. You're either going to wait for the price drop at to start off with, or you're going to trade in your system. So they're going to have to find a way to keep their older systems relevant. And if it is that, you take it in and you have all of these games on your PSN and you can download them, I'm fine with that, because then my $400 of games no longer basically paperweight. And I'm totally cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, and you're not going to want to have multiple consoles by the same company also. Consoles are big. They take up space.
Especially the PlayStation 3 is very
even the PlayStation
bulky.
3 Slim is
The PlayStation 3
huge.
Slim is huge. It's like
It's
5
bigger than
Wiis.
it's bigger than the original PlayStation 2.
Seriously,
it's the Slim.
You could take 5 Wiis, tape them together, and it would still be smaller than the Slim. I'm not even kidding.
I'm looking at my PS3 Slim right now. I have a very small TV in my room, one of those like cube, probably 13-inch TVs. My PS3 is the same size in height as my 13-inch TV.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, it's a fucking stupid thing to call it the Slim, because it is fat as fuck. It's stupid.
It's certainly slim compared to the original PS3. I have
They should have
no
just
problem
called it.
with them with that.
They should have called it the PS3 Slimmer than the Fat PS3. That should have been the full name.
I would have been.
On a diet edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the
Atkins version of
PS2
PS3.
Slim. The PS2 Slim. That was legit.
That was legit.
That-
Oh yeah.
That thing is tiny. That's the size of a fucking book.
Yeah, that was really, really small.
Yeah.
But justifying calling that Slim? No, fuck you, Sony. That's stupid. You can't do that.
So,
But anyway,
yeah,
that's-
it's gonna.
Oh, Ryan's
Can't
calling
have-
me.
oh dear God.
Ryan
Uh,
is on Skype.
Okay, 1 second.
So we're just having all the guests today.
Let me deal with this.
So I think that pretty much covers
I have-
everything.
One little
Covered.
itty thing I would like to say.
Yeah.
There was a very
yeah.
there was a very interesting point raised in the IGN article that they put up, because the word orbis in Latin means circle, right? And going by the name of Sony's current console, the Vita, Vita, of course, is Latin for life. So what do you get when you put those
The
together?
circle
You get the Lion
of
King! Oh my
life.
god!
Exactly. Which
Spoiler alert, Lion King is one of the launch titles.
It's
It's gonna be the best game ever.
I thought that was
so much
kind of cool.
echoing.
Everyone's echoing.
Okay, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw that there. That's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. Well, we'll see if that has any traction in terms of connectivity between the Vita and the supposed successor.
Alternatively, the Orbis could be something to do with the Vita. Like, it's rumored.
We have
Yeah.
no idea. We'll see. It's dancing around.
Based off recent weeks, I think we'll hear something in the near future from Sony's end.
Yeah, I'm sure by the next podcast, a lot of this stuff is going to be cleared up. I'm sure of it.
We're hoping anyway.
And if not, then we'll know something at E3, because they'll either say, yeah, we're doing it, or no, we're not.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay. So, shall we move on from the baseless speculation?
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Fizz, tell me
Yes, sir.
about Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3 apparently had a horrible shit ending that pissed off the entire universe.
I want to say right now, real quick, I've never played any of the games, and I spoiled the ending of 3 for myself.
Just because of the hoo-ha.
Yeah, literally, that was the only reason.
So was it a bad ending? Without spoiling it for others.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
that.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't think
I-
players can really
well, see-
judge whether
well, no,
it's
see,
bad or not.
here's the problem. I'm not gonna spoil anything that happens. I'm just gonna say, like, in general, why I think it was kind of bad. Like, they say, BioWare said that there were like 16 different endings you could have.
Right.
There were 16 different endings,
Mhm.
but they all varied by like one tiny little cutscene.
Yeah.
It was the exact same thing in general that happened in all 16 endings.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that the game, apparently the game was absolutely fantastic up until the ending,
Right.
but it just lacked a sense of closure, and that's what a lot of people wanted. Like,
My
even
friend, who is a huge Mass Effect fan, had the greatest way to sum up Mass Effect 3.
Sorry, I cut him off.
Bring it back?
I want to know this.
I'm bringing him back with better quality.
Yeah, he was staticky. So.
We have the technology.
We do.
We do.
Alright, go ahead, Fiber.
He sent it up like this. As a standalone game, Mass Effect 3 is fantastic from start to finish. But as the end of the franchise that he's loved for so many years, it was bad. And not just because of anything that happened, it didn't sum it up in a way that he felt was appropriate for the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, an interesting point that's been made by a few people is that the Mass Effect 3 ending deals with pretty much Shepard and Shepard alone. And what people are arguing is that the reason people hate the ending is because they don't really care about Shepard as a character. The characters that they care about, the people in your party throughout the 3 games, with all their interesting backstories and everything like that, all the aliens and everything, those are the characters that people care about. And because the ending only really deals with Shepard, they don't get closure on those guys that they really care about, and therefore it is very unsatisfying.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, you know what game did a really, really good job of dealing with all the characters? Freaking Fire Emblem did a
Fire
fantastic
Emblem is
job.
an incredible game for character endings. If you have freaking
If you
support
actually,
conversations,
yeah, exactly. That actually changes how they interact at the end of the game. It's fantastic.
it's incredible.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never played a Fire Emblem game, but I really want to.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think would be like a good one to
Well, Farron,
start out with?
you're part of the 3DS Ambassador program, am I right?
I am indeed.
Then you have free access to download Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones, which I believe is a perfect point of entry for any person starting the Fire Emblem series.
Well, gee whirlikers.
Well, gee willikers, there you go. That's a free game you can play right now.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very good game. It was my first Fire Emblem game, and it is a great one. You should
I
definitely
do
play
believe I will play that then.
it. You should play through it, definitely.
Going back to Mass Effect 3 for just a second,
Yeah. There you go.
there was this thing that I was thinking about when I was reading an article about the games, and I've never played them, but I kind of know something about like the lore of the games. I know that like apparently the Reapers are just like insanely, incredibly deadly and powerful. Like one is enough to destroy like everything that you come in contact with in like the first game, and like I think that's like a big part of the first game is just preventing the Reapers from like returning to like known space so they don't destroy everything. And like one would be enough to just kill everything. And I don't think that they kept it consistent with that scale of threat throughout the games. Like I remember seeing in the Mass Effect 3 trailer, there was like just a slew of Reapers just invading Earth as if, as if they were not as threatening as the one was, back in the first game. I mean, that was just something I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really too sure, to be honest.
Yeah, so the BioWare is actually like going to do something about it, which is the crazy thing. They're gonna go, okay, you guys, we're going to do a new ending.
Mm-hmm.
How? I guess via DLC or something of the sort. I don't know.
They would probably just patch it in.
Yeah, There you go. And that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
It is nuts, and I don't know. There's been lots of mixed responses to this. I'm
not a fan. It's like
neither am I.
I appreciate what people when they get together can do, but as like a company, I would be like, I'm sorry, you guys, but that just sucks for you because you gotta. Some of it just goes to that you gotta take some pride in your work.
Also, I mean, Viz, coming from your standpoint, you're a creative writer and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is essentially people saying, you know what, I don't give a shit about your creative license and what you've written. I want what I want. Give me what I want. I don't care what you wanted to put in terms of your creative storyline and everything. Change it because I didn't like it. And that's kind of a scary thing if people have the power to change fiction and people's own fiction in video games.
I just had a brilliant idea, though.
Go on.
You know what'd be great is if we could all band together, go to George Lucas's house, you get him to change every single goddamn prequel.
Except for Darth
We are
Maul.
the internet.
Slow
We have
clap.
the power.
No,
Darth Maul
fuck
can stay.
that idea. Fuck that idea.
He can keep Darth Maul because he wants to sit.
You can
But we
ruin
need to change so much about those movies.
all my nostalgia going.
I just want to
Right.
change who did all the acting.
Hey, that's fine too.
Just 'cause-
Can we just
'cause the
change
guy-
the entire script though? Also, because that was pretty bad as well.
No, I think on the Star
ahead.
Wars point, sorry Ferris, but on the Star Wars point, you can complain all you like about the prequels and how terrible the acting was and all that crap. But when it comes down to it, Lucas perfectly managed to bind the entire series together, chronicling Palpatine's rise to power and linking it all perfectly together with the sequel trilogies. You
I'll
cannot
give you
deny
this.
that. You cannot
Yeah,
deny that because the perfect way in which he synchronized everything to make the freaking clone troopers become the stormtroopers, it's just beautiful. In the end,
Okay.
the overarching
So,
story plot is fantastic.
Here's what happened. There was really good, big, broad, general ideas.
Yes, and those were
Okay.
executed excellently.
But anyone could have a really good, big, broad, general idea. They didn't execute it well.
But They were executing.
No, that's it. That's it. They did. You can't argue it.
I mean, this is Fizz. I think he wins by default. I mean,
but back to Mass Effect. Yeah, it's not a good thing for just games in general for the future. I mean, think about it. If BioWare is a big freaking company, right?
Right.
So if they're backing down from the product that they produced because a bunch of people said we didn't particularly like the ending, everything else was great, but fix this for us because we didn't like it. What does that do for every other company in existence?
It teaches them to do it right the first time.
Well,
but then you blur the line between what is wrong and what is right. I mean, you don't know what people want.
No, you can't please all of the people all the time.
Exactly.
You really can't. No matter what you do, someone's going to be upset no matter what.
I think we're missing the big picture here. Right now, currently, BioWare's just getting railed from behind by EA, and eventually they're just going to be tossed aside and burned like all the other companies EA has destroyed in the past. So does it really matter what games they create?
Well,
no, yeah, it's I'm not sure how I feel about them releasing DLC. It's kind of just like, I mean, the only thing that was, in my opinion, that was really lacking from the ending was a solid sense of closure. But I don't know, just something about it. Maybe it's because I haven't played the games, but it just really doesn't seem like that big of a deal because I know exactly what happens in the ending. So, like, when I heard it, I was like, well, that doesn't seem so bad. It seems kind of average to me.
I believe there is a YouTube video which takes all 16 endings and puts them side by side and just plays them all in sync. And you can basically see that there is complete minute differences between them. So, there you go. The ending that no one liked. It's now
bummer. It's a bummer.
It's a bummer indeed.
Really are. Yeah.
How unfortunate.
Indeed, Ryan. Indeed.
Yes.
Like I said, do it right the first time.
Yeah, that's just. So I think we've covered everything from Herald and Newsmar, unless I'm mistaken.
We have a little
left?
extra. We have, of course, earlier we were touching on the Resident Evil Revelations controls issue that Fizzy was having. Fizz, do you want to detail, first of all, to our lovely listeners, what your problems with Resident Evil Revelations controls were, and why they're bad?
They didn't feel smooth. I don't know. Look. Here's the thing: I was playing the demo, and you walk with the thing, and then you also aim with it as well. Which I don't have a problem with, because when you're aiming, you stand there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I refuse to believe that another circle pad is gonna fix that problem. Also, I don't know how comfortable a big giant boat is going to be on my 3DS. I'm very anti-Circle Pad Pro, by the way.
Well, you haven't.
In case you didn't realize, he's very anti-Circle Pad Pro.
He is. I mean, you haven't obviously tried the Circle Pad Pro. Neither have I.
No.
Newsflash: I don't like Kotaku either.
Yeah, that too.
I honestly was ready to hold out until the next gen of 3DS came out with the other Circle Pad, because I don't see how that can be comfortable. I don't want my DS to be any bigger than it already is. I think it's a pretty decent size.
I'm sure that the Circle Pad Pro is very comfortable. Nintendo have a knack of making things comfortable when they look like they really shouldn't be at all. For example, the Wii U controller looks like a cumbersome piece of shit, but every single journalist who was at that event at E3 said it feels very comfortable.
Every controller they've ever made after the Super Nintendo looked like a horrible piece of shit, and they're all fine.
Yeah, they all feel. I mean, the GameCube
controller. The N64 was still a piece of shit.
It was
okay because you never needed like all three handles.
It was the N64 controller was very functional.
Awesome.
It was. I liked it.
Yes, it was awesome.
Indeed.
They were just like
the GameCube controller though it looked horrible. I didn't even want to touch it.
Feels fantastic.
The GameCube controller looked like Legos.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But
you know what I hate about Resident Evil Revelations?
What?
The Revelations part. Revelations is just one of those stupid, like, generic sequel words you slap onto something like Chronicles or Legacy or Armageddon or... it's just I hate it when people put those words on the end of games.
True.
It decreases its value in my mind to me.
Assassin's Creed Revelations, Resident Evil Revelations.
Yeah.
Hey, Assassin's
It's-
Creed
it's
Revelations
really-
has a great online though.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
does.
buzzword.
It does.
It's a buzzword that really gets people's attention.
Shout outs to the Aussie gamer who does amazing online Assassin's Creed
Oh.
Revelations video.
I know,
They
I know,
should've-
I know why they do it. They just want you to have revelations about the other games that were so good, and then go buy it.
Maybe. We'll never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, the idea about, talking about controls in games is that a very hot topic at the moment is the newly released game on the Nintendo 3DS, the first party title, Kid Icarus Uprising, which has got...
Uprising is another one of those words, by the way.
Yeah, it really is.
It has gotten a lot of flack, I guess. Not a lot, but a decent amount of flack for the control scheme and the fact that it's very uncomfortable with the stylus and everything. And there are ways you can get around it. Of course, they bundled in the stand, which you can put it on, and you're able to use that, I guess, to make it a little bit more comfortable. Yes, it is pretty funny.
See,
Yeah,
It's like
it sounds really dumb.
I would say stylus controls are like a pet peeve of mine. Like that's probably like the only thing that I kind of didn't like about Metroid Prime Hunters, but I thought they were actually kind of good in Metroid Prime Hunters, so I'll let that slide. But it's not really a pet peeve; it's more like just this deep, burning, psychotic hatred.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate stylus controls so much, except on
I think
Metroid
that's
Prime
my
Hunters.
big issue with the DS in general. I don't own a 3DS, as I've said before, but I have an issue where, for me, handhelds are supposed to be handhelds. Put, one hand for the friggin' arrows, one hand for the A and B button, because that's all you need, A and B. Go back to the old days. And now it's just, they added...
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for portable melee with flagless Wi-Fi. Anyone?
We'll see if 3DS hits the mark.
Ryan, back me up here.
What?
Portable melee with flagless Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Yes.
See, there we go.
Legless Wi-Fi as well.
Lagless.
Anyway,
Legolas Wi-Fi.
Legolas
They arrows
Wi-Fi.
at you.
indeed. No, what I was gonna say about the stylus control though is, in my opinion, it is the perfect control, and yet so incredibly flawed. It's so perfect simply because of the nature of Kid Icarus that you have to be so quick on those sections, aiming your cursor. It's like mouse quick controls. You have to be able to be accurate and quick. And I feel that if you did have Circle Pad Pro support, it would just be too slow. Like, you wouldn't be able to accurately be able to hit the things, and you'd be able to move around quick enough. Accuracy and speed wouldn't be there. It would, of course, feel a lot nicer. It would be a lot more comfortable, but you're losing a lot of what the game is sort of challenging you with, which is very quick enemies on screen, which you wouldn't be able to combat if you indeed had that control system. So it's a flawed beast, I feel.
You want to know the real problem with stylus controls?
Go on.
Is that I don't have 3 fucking hands.
This guy. All right, so, slash podcast. We're done.
True.
All right, thank you guys for watching. This has been 2.5 Gamers.
Oh my god.
That would be a really great way to end, but
That was
No,
just
but
the last thing you hear is the real problem with stylus controls. I don't have 3 fucking hands. That just stops.
perfect. That's pretty
So
amazing. Yeah, if you had 3 hands, I think that Kid Icarus would be probably one of the best games of all time. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow...
N64 controller still works with 2 hands though, so I mean,
Yeah.
they've shown, Nintendo has shown that they have the potential of creating 3-handed devices that work with 2 hands.
Perhaps they're actually two-handed devices that accompany 3 hands.
Or maybe
Yeah.
the Japanese have
Yeah.
3 hands.
Maybe.
that's what I'm saying.
2 hands and a stand, as McBoss has indeed said. But I think that I am probably eventually going to pick Kid Icarus up. Mainly because even though the controls have got flack, people are saying, I love this game. Like, I didn't care that it was hurting my hands. I just wanted to go back and play with it.
I didn't care that it was hurting my hands.
I didn't care that I was, getting arthritis at an early age. I just wanted to play that game, and that's what people are saying about it. And the fact that people are so enthusiastic about it and think that the game is actually really good, sells it much better, I guess, for me. So I'm looking at maybe purchasing it sometime in the future. We will see about that. But
Yeah, I'm very critical, but yeah, I'm actually gonna go out and get it. It looks
You know
really
what
good.
hurts? You know what hurts my hands? after I start punching the wall because I missed that last fucking missile on Sector Z in Star Fox 64 and I had to go to the satellite instead of Area 6. That's what hurts my hands.
I see, Ferris. I see.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel, Ferris?
In any case, I think that just about wraps up Harold and Newsma.
Are we going to be taking calls today?
We got McBoss. We could.
We do. We might as well. If you're in the chat and you want to call in on the podcast, add McBoss on Skype and ask him a question, and he will drag you in here, and we will staff talk to you.
We will do words and things.
We will do words. Add McBoss. His Skype is McBoss. On Skype, if you want to ask us a question live on the air right now. So there you go. You can do that if you so wish to. But otherwise, yes. So, Ferris, we didn't really... You said you were playing StarCraft this week. What else were you playing? Anything else significant?
No, pretty much StarCraft. Since MLG, I've just been really into it and working on getting better and stuff.
StarCraft.
How was MLG, by the way? Why didn't you talk a bit about that? This is a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the best weekend that I have had since, like, going to California over the summer. Got to hang out with Steve and Alina and Pat James Reagan, tuxedo morph suit, no big deal.
Indeed.
It was like oh my gosh, like Steve and I created a celebrity. Pat James Reagan in the tuxedo morph suit. I don't know if you guys know the full story or not.
Yeah, I do.
All right, okay, well, yeah, basically by the end of the day, almost all of MLG knew who he was, and he got an interview from MLG officials.
Oh my god.
That's really cool.
So
That is
it was
really cool.
it was sweet. And
So what kind of stuff did they have there, like
right,
at the event? Like what was?
StarCraft
I know nothing about the actual event.
All right, StarCraft is the main event. It's like pretty much the main focus of MLG, rightfully so. Then there's
how dominated was it by Koreans?
Well, in the top 4 there was an Englishman, so that was cool.
Yeah. Booyah.
And then
So
the
that
other
was cool.
then the other 3 and pretty much all of the rest of the champion bracket were Koreans. So it was.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there were a couple others. I'm exaggerating, so I didn't quite know exactly how all the players played.
You're referring
Okay,
to StarCraft, right?
yeah.
Do you remember the names of the Koreans?
First place was Marine King Prime.
Okay.
Second place was DRG. Third place was Hart, and fourth place was Huck. Huck was the white guy. So,
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
Huck is awesome. He I guess there was a past MLG event that he won. I didn't see this, but my friend told me about it because he saw it. Apparently, Huck was in the finals, like the grand finals, and then during his game, he alt-tabbed out of StarCraft. He went on Twitter and tweeted, "I'm about to win MLG," and then he alt-tabbed back into StarCraft and he won MLG.
Best troll.
So it was pretty awesome. And then
MLG.
there were a couple other players there who were pretty awesome. One of them, this is actually really funny for anyone who knows anything about StarCraft, but I'll explain it real quick for those who don't. There's this player called Destiny, and he plays Zerg.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how to use Bane lanes. And for anyone who doesn't know, Bane lanes are basically a unit where you run them into your opponent, and then they blow up, and they do splash damage. So you kill your own unit, but they kill like everything around them. And so this is really good to use against like Marines and Marauders and just bio units. And so he was saying
people can't micro very well in general.
yeah,
Off.
and then there's Zerglings, which are just these tiny little units that just run around. They're hit and run. They attack really fast and stuff. And he said, all right, Banelings are basically like rape. And Zerglings are like the hand around the waist to hold your victim in place as you insert yourself into him.
Wow.
And so he's doing this while he's actually playing in a game. And he takes his Zerglings, he runs them around to like an army that's basically Marines and Marauders, so perfect for Banelings to kill. And then he says, all right, hand around the waist. And then he brings in the Banelings. He's like, no, you can't leave. And then the Banelings just blow everything up. He wipes out his whole army. and everyone just starts laughing on the stream, and because he won the game because of that. And then he says, "And that's how you do it. I've always wanted to rape someone in real life." No. I'm kidding. But that's what I mean. And it was really funny but yeah.
So you're watching this on like big screens, right? They just broadcast everything on the screen.
Yeah, they have a massive main screen in the room, and then off to the side are 2 screens that show the views of each player, and then the middle one is the commentator's view, so they can see everything.
Oh, okay. That's pretty awesome.
Very cool.
Indeed.
Yes, StarCraft is it's one of those games that it is really, really fucking hard to learn how to play and get good at. But once you get the basics down and you actually kind of know what you're doing, it's a lot of fun.
It's very enjoyable, yes.
It's also probably just one of the best. It's so good because it just takes so much skill to actually do stuff. So if you have someone who's really good, they work their asses off to get that good. And it's also cool because you can just pretty much do whatever you want. You can just be really creative with the way you try and win. So that's the fun thing about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe we have some callers going on, so we'll let McBoss drag him in, and we'll get to that. So here we go. Ferris, you better have your answering cap on.
Okay.
Just in case. Throw a
Well,
curveball.
boss was waiting for the StarCraft talk to stop. Sorry, man, I didn't know I was holding you up.
Okay.
One time.
Okay, where is Fiber? I can't see him.
Nated 47X.
Nated, I've seen that guy on before.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Greetings.
Hello? I can't really hear anything. There's lots of background noise on your end.
Is your computer taking off?
It's best.
There we go. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
There you
That's
go.
much better, much better.
Okay, my question was, what game have each of you logged the most hours in, respectively?
Oh, that's easy. Melee. I've put over
Definitely.
1,200. I've put over 1,200 hours into Melee. I've put over a month of my life into that game in the 10 years it's been out.
Holy shit.
Definitely Pokemon.
Yeah.
I can hands down say I have at least 2,500 hours.
Okay, so that just took a shit all over me, but
Yes, it did.
Yeah. No,
I've
but
probably played that much time on Melee.
Ferris, I guarantee over your life of Pokemon, you've played more hours than you've played Melee.
no, I bet no, because my friend. I
No,
want to tell you something.
no, I can't-
This
no.
1,200 hours I have in Melee. It is on
Wait, Ferris.
No.
Ferris.
Wait.
Yeah.
Ferris. Why are you playing Melee? Brawl's such a better game.
I'm gonna ignore that. But anyway, what I was saying was, after a couple years, my memory card got erased, and I had to copy my friend's over that he started a week after mine got erased. So the 1,200 hours isn't all of what I've played of Melee that's been recorded. See, because my friend would come over. Two of my friends, we would play literally every day. We would, after school, since first grade, we've known each other. We would just go to each other's houses and play Melee all the time.
He's been playing
And it
Melee
was-
since first grade.
It's glorious. So
Glorious.
it was,
The game came out.
yeah, Ryan, that is when the game came out.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Probably, I mean, the obvious answer would be a Pokemon would probably log the most hours. Other than that, though, I would say, oh god, I'm gonna say Fallout 3. I put so many freaking hours in that game. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
same here. I have several hundred on just one account, and I have multiple accounts, so that game eats up so much time if you play consistently.
It does. The thing about Fallout 3, when I first got that game, I forgot to eat entire meals. Legit, this is not a joke, this is a real thing. I would wake up in the morning, oh yeah, it's time to wake up, and then have a free day off of college or whatever, and be like, alright, fuck, and play some Fallout. And I'd sit there, it'd be 10 a.m.
19 hours
I'd be
later,
playing
oh, fuck.
Fallout, and then it's 4 o'clock, I'm like, shit, I'm kinda hungry, and I look at the clock, it's 6 hours later, and I haven't eaten a goddamn thing all day.
Dear God.
Yeah,
It's a
that
good way
game
to-
moves track the time so
'Cause I-
quick. It's just oh wait, new location discovered. I must check what this is. I must know what is inside this place.
It's a good way to
Yeah,
lose weight, though. Just starve
Oh,
yourself by playing Fallout.
And I got really
Ferris,
into
that's
my character,
anorexia.
too.
That's a serious problem.
No, it's
We're
you're
talking the college
starving
stuff,
yourself without Fallout. With Fallout, it's okay because it's
Oh,
Fallout.
okay, okay.
It's just fun in games. But I got really into my character because I decided I'm gonna play as evil as possible because why not? That's the only way I'm gonna have real fun at this. So I would just slaughter entire towns. As soon as someone gave me the wrong look, I would just go into every town and say, "Give me a reason, bitch."
So you were the Clint Eastwood of Fallout.
Pretty much, yeah. Some way better weapons.
Yeah,
They're just way eviler.
indeed. I
It's
guess
like Darth Vader with a shotgun.
Oh,
Shotgun, good times.
yeah. Well, I guess for me, Pokemon obviously the obvious answer. My Diamond cartridge alone is at 960 something hours, which is
You didn't cap at 999 yet?
No.
5.9 or something like that.
I think I discovered PokeSav a little bit too early because at least 700 or 600 of those hours was spent EV training and breeding, pretty much.
I have 5 4th-gen cartridges with 999 hours on them.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
that's sickening. Wow.
But-
Okay.
If you don't want me to include Pokemon as one, either Warcraft 3 or Age of Mythology.
Mm.
I used to play the Warcraft 3 RTS online. That's why
Nice.
I asked about the StarCraft names first, because some of the Warcraft 3 professionals transferred over, like Destiny, Moon, and Grubby are all Warcraft
Oh,
players.
Grubby's the man.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
like I hated it when I was learning how to play StarCraft and people would use Warcraft terms, like they would say instead of supply they'd say food, and I never played Warcraft, so I didn't know what that meant. And so they would say, "All right, build your pylon at 9 food." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It was really confusing. Oh, also NBC, real quick, Diamond FC, go.
1-847-825-2669.
I always love making him do that.
No, but apart from Pokemon, in terms of what I've played the most hours, I think Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones is the next big one.
Yeah.
I got that game like Christmas, like a long time ago, and I beat it twice through. And then even after that, you have the Tower Challenge and the Ruins Challenge. Each time you beat those, you unlock characters and loads of extra stuff that you get in that game. I've probably put about 200 or 250 hours into that game. Even more, most likely, because it doesn't count your hours if you start a map over. And you will start maps over like a motherfucker in any Fire Emblem game.
Well,
Like a
I
motherfucker.
Perfect.
I kind of have a thing where when I play Fire Emblem, I do the tower and just like grind my way to the point where I
true.
just beat every map.
Yeah.
But for me, the two games that I spent the most time on, number one, Diablo 2. I probably clocked about 500 hours on that alone, and that's not including multiplayer. Like that's mostly just me going through the single player over and over and over. For multiplayer, probably tripled that number because I will go back to that game every few months and just play. But
Diablo 3 then?
Oh yeah, I've been incredibly mad that I haven't gotten into that beta.
Oh, you never
But the other game that I spent a lot of time in is a game called Seiken Densetsu 3, and I've only been able to play that as a ROM because I don't know Japanese, and it was a game that was never ported over to North America. It is in the Sword of Mana series. It would technically have been Secret of Mana 2. And it was a game that I absolutely loved. I think it is a better game than Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo,
Wow.
which is how good this game really is.
That's
The story
fair
is
statement.
fantastic. The characters are fantastic. Graphically and musically, it is probably at par, if not better than Chrono Trigger. And it is a game, probably the game I would recommend the most if anybody said, what's your favorite game? It'd be that. And then if we can include a franchise, the Mega Man Battle Network series on the Game Boy Advance, because I played every single one of them, and I S-ranked every single one except for number 2, because I couldn't S-rank Nightman, and it made me sad.
Ow. Oh well.
But
I'm just gonna throw another game out there that we've all probably clocked a hell of a lot of hours in.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're all fairly, older. Super Nintendo Super Mario World. I don't know how many times I've beat that game.
A ton?
yeah,
Yeah.
Actual number.
The actual number is legitimately a metric ton is how many times I played that game.
metric
Yeah.
fuck ton of times through Super Mario Bros. Exactly.
there gets a point where you play a game so much you have to measure the amount of time you've put into it in volume or mass, whichever. Yeah.
And you feel sad you got no life.
Indeed.
I've probably put in a parsec of Super Mario World.
Yes.
Parsec's not distance, it's distance of time.
Yeah. I think the last one that I would have to say is Guitar Hero 3. I've put a stupid amount of hours into that game, far too many for my own good, but I love that game. I think it is without a doubt still the best Guitar Hero game. Nothing has beaten it for me. I pretty much like every single song on it, and I can just play them over and over again. It's the most fun Guitar Hero game, in my opinion. So that's one I got a hell of a lot of hours on.
Is that because it has Dragon Force on it? Is that why?
Totally. No, seriously though, I played Dragon Force so many times it's uncountable. Like, I can't do it on expert, but I can do it on hard, and my friends' minds are blown when I do it on hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're 100% of that.
I have never 100%ed hard Dragon Force, no, because it would require ninja reflexes that I do not think are possible in the universe.
Require the heart of cards in combination with.
I've got 96 on it.
Holy shit.
On hard, not on expert.
Wow, yeah. It's
Back
Get a
difficult.
clap for that, sir.
Yeah.
Back in 12th grade, we had a big drama thing that we did, and afterwards we had a party. And at that party, we were all piss-faced drunk, and somebody had brought their Wii with Guitar Hero 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to try and play a Dragon Force on expert. And my buddy Matt, just probably the drunkest one there, had the game, the guitar behind his head and was literally just mashing every button as quickly as he could. And he ended up getting like 15% of the way through it before he died, which was
That's
which is 14% further than anybody else got. And
Awesome.
it was fantastic. Obviously, like my buddy's like, I can beat this if I'm sober on easy, but it's fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
It
Nate,
was good times.
what about you? What's the game you've clocked the most hours in?
Sorry?
Yeah, Nate.
What about your game? What's your game that you've done the most hours?
Probably Fallout 3, actually.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, speaking
Yeah,
of
buddy.
Fallout 3, a buddy of mine showed me a picture,
Rebecca.
and it has to do with Fallout 3, and it is, apparently there is a secret radio station in Fallout 3 that has created a conspiracy theory because it is apparently predicting the future, as well as, obviously some of the stuff that's already happened now, but apparently it predicted George Carlin's death, which is pretty funny. And it predicts that Queen Elizabeth will die in 2013, I think.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
So if Queen
That's
Elizabeth
ridiculous,
dies
man.
in 2013, it would be pretty creepy.
Yeah, very.
Damn.
Oh, I've got
Damn.
a good counter question now for the how many hours have we put into a game.
Yeah.
What's the game that you guys have played the least before you decided, all right, fuck this game, I'm not playing it anymore?
Ninja Turtle for the Nintendo. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? I
Level
beat that
10.
game so easy.
No, you did not.
I did.
The
I beat
first
that
one?
game. Yes,
How'd you get past the water
Like the
level?
one-
You did not.
I did. You're
You're
talking
a
about
liar.
the one where it's like an overworld sprite and you go into the sewer.
Yes.
Yeah, I
You
beat
did
that
not
game.
beat that game.
I
You
did.
not.
I didn't beat the
Alright,
second one
Fuck
though.
that game and fuck Battle. You didn't beat the second one?
Oh,
The
fuck.
arcade
Hell no.
game?
I didn't own
Everyone
it.
beat the arcade game.
I didn't own it, so I didn't have a chance to
Oh
beat it. I
my
played it at my
God.
friend's house for like an hour, and then I got yelled at to come home.
My answer is the first Ninja Turtles game and Battletoads.
Yeah,
Battle-
that was gonna be
Battletoads.
my answer.
Battletoads was hilariously awesome, though.
Battletoads
Yeah.
was hard shit. Fuck you.
I couldn't
I-
get
it was-
past level 3, except for like
Every
one
tunnel?
time I downloaded it on a ROM on my DS, and I played it through. And every time I would die, there was like a little rewind button, so I would just rewind and play through. And I accidentally hit a portal in level 3, and I transferred all the way to like level 100 or
Yeah, there's
whatever.
warps every couple of levels.
see.
You
Yeah.
jump ahead
See,
two
I
levels.
mean, that's the only way that I was able to beat Mega Man 2 was with the rewind button on my DS
Oh, I love
Super
Mega Man
Card.
2.
Yeah,
Mega
I couldn't
Man
even
2's
beat.
legit.
I couldn't even beat Mega Man 1 with the rewind button. That's how bad I am at Mega Man 1.
I beat Mega Man 2, not when I first played it back in the day. I ended up learning the proper order and then beat it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that game.
That's a lot of
But
what
I don't
happened.
I
with those
don't
games.
even know what game would be the best one to answer you this counter question. like, for me, the problem is, if there's a game that I don't like, I know instantly, and then I just drop it. So I can't even remember games that I've dropped, because in the last few years, I've only played games that, I've put in time to look at, whether it's, they've come out and I've watched some video footage, say, okay, this game looks okay, or it's something that, if I know I'm not going to like it, I obviously won't get it. If I don't think I'll like it, I won't do it. It has to be like 80% sure I'll enjoy a game before I'll even load it up.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was a two-way tie. The first one was Superman 64. I think part of me went brain dead when I was playing that.
That game sucked so bad.
I died a little bit after I played it. I was like, what is going? And I was really young and impressionable, and I loved just trying new video games. So playing this game, I was just like, I
remember they had a Superman game for Super Nintendo, and we had this little game shop where you could actually try out the game before you bought it. So I was like, oh yeah, Superman, I'm gonna try it out. And so I'm sitting there playing it, and I'm sitting there for like 30 minutes. I have not got past like the first screen, of the game. I was so confused. I was like, I have no idea where to go. I didn't even get to fight a single bad guy. I didn't get to punch a single thing.
Yeah,
I was just there.
You know what? I think the game for me was for the Sega Genesis, and I'm pretty sure it was ported on other things. It was a Spider-Man game, and it was, I believe it was called, Spider-Man Carnage or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
I could not beat the second level where you had to climb up the building. While some chick is shooting lightning at you. I couldn't get past that, and I basically just said, "Screw this, I'm done."
I rented that game so many times.
The other game for me that did it was this wasn't because it was too hard. Superman, I stopped playing it because it was just really bad and I hated it. This game I also stopped playing because it was really bad and I hated it. Some people are probably gonna give me flack for this, but they can bite my ass. Star Fox Adventures. I played the first level where you were flying. I was like, I'm a blue fox. I'm flying on a pterodactyl. What the fuck is this? This is not Star Fox. And I stopped playing. And I never played Star Fox Adventures after that.
Yeah, Star Fox Adventures is
180 seconds
not
max.
entry in series at least.
That was the most that I experienced of it. And I was just like, I want to be flying around in a spaceship, shooting things with cheesy dialogue and robots. This is not.
Do a barrel roll.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do a barrel roll.
Yeah. No, I think for me, my most shameful one is Metroid Prime 2. And it's a game that most people love and adore, and it's critically acclaimed, and everyone thinks the Prime series is amazing. I am just shit at that game. I'm fucking horrible at Metroid Prime. I love the 2D Metroid games.
I think Corruption was mediocre at best.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I love the 2D Metroid games. They're really awesome. The Prime, I just couldn't get into. I'm bad at it for one thing, and for another thing, it just, I don't like the controls, really. It's very difficult.
I think Corruption was mediocre at best. You weren't missing out.
Well, Metroid Prime 2, I think, has been a bit more critically acclaimed than Corruption was.
The multiplayer? Well, yeah, because it's better. The multiplayer in Prime 2 is actually a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, I love the multiplayer in Prime 2. I didn't get to play it a lot, but the times that I did play it, it was a hell of a lot of fun. Really, really good stuff. I'm surprised that they took it out of Corruption, because that would have been really cool online, I think.
Yeah.
But 2 is a very difficult game. I think I was on, the Bomb Guardian, and I just can't beat him. I'm just too bad at the game, so I just...
Maybe one of the reasons
why...
why...
theme here. NBZ is bad at video games.
Well, obviously, clearly I am.
Maybe one of the reasons why I didn't like Corruption was because, this was around the time where I went to my friend's house a bunch and I played Halo 2 on his Xbox with him, and I loved it. This was before I had an Xbox, and so, around this time, I just had, this massive Halo boner, because I really wanted to play Halo all the time.
It's hard as shit.
And I was really hoping that Corruption was going to be like Nintendo's version of Halo. There'd be multiplayer, it'd be a really good first-person shooter, it'd be fun, and then, because when I was just like, this is not it at all, maybe that just made me more disappointed about it.
Yeah,
so,
probably. Metroid and Halo are so distinctly different from one another. It's
your allies were more like cutscenes instead of actual allies.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do shit the entire game. It was
And
just
even
so
Metroid, it was
disappointing.
more about like exploration, getting more tools to get to the next place, whereas Halo was mow down everything and try to get like from point to point.
Exactly. Prime is a first-person action adventure game. Halo is a first-person shooter. There's your difference.
Distinct difference. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No.
So I guess that's that. So
Yeah.
thank you very much, Naded, for the question. Glad
No problem,
you called
guys.
in.
It was
And,
very much appreciated.
It was a pleasure, good sir.
Call again next
As
week.
well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Do
See
it.
ya.
What?
All right.
Jake.
That was rude. That was
Yeah.
really rude.
Douche.
I
He was-
said came by. Fuck
Yeah,
you
he was
guys.
he was
Okay.
a swell chap.
I can't.
I was being very polite and saying goodbye.
I'm trying to remove him from the call, but I can't seem to click it. And because we need to, otherwise it's going to get clogged up. I don't know if am I hosting still?
Yeah, you're still hosting.
Oh,
Well,
NBZ
I
just
think you are.
NBZ just download more bandwidth.
Yeah, fuck.
Is there another
That
call
story.
for us?
Damn it, boss. You do have another call?
Oh,
Yes,
Oh, look,
that's
it's
not
Naranagi. I wonder if his
Essentially
questions
the
are going to
third-
be asking me how to beat Dark Souls, because that's all he's been asking me about the last 2 days.
Call failed. Uh-oh.
Spadudios.
Unfortunately, we can't have Nagi on the show, guys.
Oh no! Sorry, did that sound sarcastic? I think it sounds sarcastic.
Oh, look, it's Nagi.
Yes,
Ah.
it is. It's
Oh,
me.
there we
There
go.
he is.
How's it going,
Hi.
Nagi?
I'm
Hey,
doing fine.
Is your question about the CDI? Because I think Envy's
No, it's an amazing system, but no, my question isn't
what's
about
your
the
favorite part of the CDI games?
Clearly
My
the
boy.
cutscenes. The cutscenes.
My boy.
My boy.
Alright, Nagi, what's your
Okay,
question legit?
Okay, how would you feel about Nintendo actually giving a shit about story and voice acting in their games?
I don't care.
I couldn't care less.
I'm really honest.
I
No
care
fucks.
immensely.
No fucks.
I care a lot.
Skyward Sword, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I agree highly. Now, the thing is, Nintendo just have this history of their games being able to portray story without needing voice acting.
Yeah, no, if you think about it.
It's the perfect example of that. The game using the characters' expressions is absolutely perfect. There's no reason Link should ever have a voice. I mean, there are so many
He
examples.
has a voice. You hear him go, ah!
Grunts a little bit.
That is 100% voice acting. That's
He
all you
spins
need.
and screams.
Yeah, that's not. He doesn't formulate words with his mouth. Therefore, he doesn't have a voice. But I mean, you look at that game. That game tells a fantastic story without having to draw the voice acting card at one
But
point.
like, thing is though, okay, I can tell that Nintendo is starting to work towards voice acting because like I said in the chat like a while ago, Kid Icarus Uprising has voice acting. It's actually very good.
It is. No,
So,
the Kid Icarus Uprising is that the game does not take itself seriously in any way, and therefore the goofy voice acting fits it completely perfectly because it mocks itself, and I think that's really good. It's a kind of a step in the right direction. They know, Sakurai knows what he's doing, I guess.
Yeah,
voice acting.
So like, I'm gonna guess that with Uprising they're gonna lean towards voice acting in the future.
Definitely.
And like and thing is that like the voice acting in that game is actually very good compared to like their older titles like Other M and Sunshine and stuff.
If you think about it, it's actually kind of weird because the Star Fox series are the only from like what
and
off
the
the top of my
Star-
head, they're like the only first party series that Nintendo has that has like consistent voice acting throughout the whole
Yeah,
game.
that is strange.
And F-Zero, really.
Mm-hmm.
And F-Zero. F-Zero's legit. I love F-Zero.
Alright, let me just say this. I am so for Nintendo having voice acting.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not even funny.
No.
I
don't like
look,
read
no,
what you
no, no,
did
no,
it.
no. I don't mind reading.
Yes, you do.
I don't-
Told me.
I don't want to.
Get a Skype.
Hold on though.
I don't know enough about Fizz's past expressions
I don't
of
want-
contempt or love for reading to have an opinion on this, so I will respect his opinion.
Okay.
I don't want to read a fucking book for cutscenes.
Exactly.
You know?
Okay, I've now formed
But
my
the-
opinion.
I
Fizz,
don't
you need to
mind-
be able to read to do. Okay.
I don't
I'm kidding.
mind reading a little, but I would prefer some voice acting. I would be against if say Nintendo decided to give Link a voice, and he started talking, that would be bad.
Yeah.
That's like giving Charlie Chaplin's
It would be kind of like giving Samus a voice. Wait.
Oh shit! What was his name? He didn't have a voice. Oh fuck me.
Yes, please.
Right,
No,
now
you know,
want it.
what? Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
He was. That was this. I want to say the Scamp, but that's not it.
Uh-huh.
The Tramp. That was like giving Charlie Chaplin's Tramp a voice. You don't do it because it's going to be bad either way, because everyone has their own idea of what Link is supposed to sound like.
Exactly.
So you can't give Link a voice, but that doesn't mean
I don't think Link sounds
can't-
like anything.
But
See,
that doesn't mean you can't give
like,
some third character a voice though, right?
No, what I'm thinking a
That'd
lot
be
of
fine if
people
they
is
gave
that,
everybody but Link
yeah.
a voice. I would
Exactly.
laugh.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's all I want.
giving
Look at Portal 2 for an example. Your main character says nothing throughout the entire game.
Yeah,
That's
Shell is a mute the entire time,
giving-
but GLaDOS says everything.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Giving Link a voice
Everybody
is-
knows that it's their voice that Link deserves.
Giving Link a voice is kind of
No,
like
the
sticking
thing
your
is, though,
computer
like,
inside a metal tub
Nintendo
full of
says
salt
that,
water hooked up to a
Link-
car battery. You just don't do it because it's a stupid idea. Allie, I'm talking.
I know. I'm so
Damn
on
it.
board with what
Ferris wheel.
It's shit like this.
It's true. But yeah, you just everyone but. Like the same, you don't give Mario a fucking voice either. I mean, he says, it's a me, a Mario, but that's it. That's
It's
it.
like,
That's all he says. It's fine. I don't
He just-
care. He doesn't
he's-
do anything else.
He's
No, but
limited
he
to
says it's
one-liners.
me, Mario. He says, oh ho ho ho. He says, Mamma Mia. He says enough.
He says, thank you so much to play in my game.
Does he ever?
See, it's just the
Horrible.
one. It's just the one-liners. He can't actually form full sentences and
Yeah.
conversations with
Yeah.
people. It's just like little sound bits.
Uh-huh.
Also, Nagi, every time you talk, I'm gonna start meowing as loud as I can. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Meow.
Oh god.
Oh dear lord. Anyway, what was I saying? I was going to talk about the Kid Icarus thing, and I think the reason that they've gone gung-ho with the voice acting in that game is because it's kind of new ground for them. It's pretty much a new franchise, and I'd say that if they want to start voice acting in anything, this is a good place to start, like, for real, because it's a clean slate. They can choose whatever the hell they want to do with it. They don't really have many preconceptions from people, because, I mean, the old games are 25 years old and they're freaking 8-bit, so they didn't have anything to base themselves on, really.
You have something against 8-bit?
No, but I mean, you
He
can't,
does.
you can't base something like Kid Icarus Uprising solely on those games, because they have pretty much nothing to do with each other, apart from the references, of course, but that's about it. So, I feel that it's an interesting thing, and I think that them kind of experimenting with voice acting here is a good thing. It means they learn the pitfalls and everything and kind of see how people react to it, so that when they do potentially do it in their next big title, they won't screw it up like... I don't know why people hated Other M's voice acting so much. I didn't really find it that bad.
I know what.
Perfectly honest,
I think
like...
the problem with Other M's voice acting is that they made Samus sound like an emotional little girl.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
people
like,
did build up
and
this
the thing
image.
is, though, she's supposed to be like very badass, like a bounty
She is,
hunter.
yeah,
and
people
in
do
Other
build up
M,
this
she's like a
image of-
child.
Yeah, right.
Instead, they just had a bunch of manly bodyguards surrounding her as if they were worried that she would just spontaneously go on her period at any random point in the game.
Yeah.
It was very demoralizing
Although,
to her character.
Well, technically, the whole dialogue stuff about Other M is you gotta blame it on Tecmo and Team Ninja.
Team Ninja. Well, no, I don't think Team Ninja had anything to do with the story component. I'm relatively sure that Sakamoto was the one driving that. So, a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's being Japanese-made story. Maybe it didn't translate so well from the Japanese to the English. Maybe the localization wasn't so great. Or maybe it's just because Sakamoto is just going gung-ho with the anime stylings and made the story kind of like that. So, I guess that may be why. But
Awesome.
But there you go. That's voice acting in a nutshell. We'll see when Nintendo goes with it. I'm not quite sure what they'll do next, but we shall see. We shall see.
Okay, bye, Nagi.
Thanks,
Have
Nagi.
fun.
Also, by the way, Fiverr.
No, you cannot ask me about Dark Souls.
Meow, meow,
I'm gonna say one
meow,
thing.
meow,
Fuck the butterfly. I hate
Meow.
it.
Oh,
Meow.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Meow.
meow,
Done.
Meow.
meow.
Alright, we're done. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks, Nagi.
Bye.
Nagi.
Hi,
Yeah,
Nagi.
look.
Meow.
Ferris.
Okay.
I regret nothing.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
do we have another
we
question?
have another caller?
I think McBoss says we have another caller.
All right, let's
You.
bring him in.
Excellent.
You have to kick Nagi first.
I'm trying.
Oh yeah, Scott was trying to get in.
Kick him in the
Scott
dick.
another caller?
It's not letting me kick.
Does Scott count as a caller? Does he know anything?
I'm sure he does.
He knows how to not buy my knife set.
He's 16. Robotnik is. Here we go.
Why? No. Why is Doggy back? Kick him.
He can't come back. He's disallowed.
You brought him
Yeah.
back in the call. All right, we got Robot coming in the call. soon.
Robotnik is sexy. Okay. Here we go. Ringing, ringing, ringing.
It's ringing.
Ringing, 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 ringing,
Oh.
ring.
Wait for
Did he
it.
not pick
For-
up? Oh,
for it.
it's
Wait.
taking forever.
It's taking a
It's
while.
not. It's not picked up yet.
It's Sky. Are you not there? Did
He's
you
not.
want to ask a question?
He's not even picked up yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Alright,
see if
drop-
he's watching
drop
the
him.
stream.
Okay, let me try and recall.
If not, we can
Hit.
bring in Squirrel
Oh,
Scott.
maybe.
Unless he is here to give me my
Hey, let's
headset.
bring in
I
Squirrel
can't-
39.
Fuck off.
Squirrel 39 is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Yeah. Well, let's try It's Guy later.
Yeah.
We can bring in Squirtle Scott. I could just drop him in if you'd like.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know why it's not letting me remove people from the call for some reason.
There you go. There's Scott. Could you?
Okay,
please?
let's do that.
Thank you. And
Now Scott's not gonna pick up.
Willow.
Oh,
Hey
look,
there.
it's
Yo,
Hey
my
Scott.
life
Welcome to
sucks.
the podcast.
Glad to be here, guys. My question for
welcome.
you
Welcome
guys
to 5.5 Gamers.
I wish she can hear be 5.5 gamers and a black guy.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Since,
but then like
Actually,
you'd have
it
to
would
deal
be
with
a.
little boys not being allowed to watch because they'd be afraid.
It would actually be. It would actually be 5.5 and 3/5 gamers. I'm sorry, that was bad.
Wow. Okay.
That's really bad.
Let's just question. Let's just get to the question.
I don't know where that came from.
Guys, is it
Your
what?
your
I'm not
mouth.
sure- I'm going to talk about it because I really haven't been consistent with these podcasts. But what franchise you guys hate the most?
Okay.
Oh, we haven't had this one yet.
No, no.
Yeah.
Just like a.
NBC
just a
hates
series of
everything
games.
that isn't Nintendo.
No, fuck you. Okay. What franchise do I hate the most?
Sorry, I guess I just need to clarify. Are you talking about a series of games or a like a? Guess I'm a little confused.
No, yeah, like any like real like it could be a series of games. Like if you hate Mega Man, which I mean, why would you ever hate Mega Man? You could be like, oh, I hate the Mega Man franchise, or I hate the Mega Man Battle Network franchise, something like that.
Oh, the Battle Network franchise. If somebody hates that, I will never talk to them ever.
People hate 3. No, not 3. They hate 2. One of them. I don't know. Fucking know.
Okay.
Two's
well,
awesome. Three's
Yes.
better.
The only
Let's go.
one I didn't like of the Battle Network series was the Team Proto Man, Team Colonel, but I still beat both
I
of
didn't
them.
even play that game.
Okay.
Hands down, everything that ever has to do with first person shooters ever. Except for the old school ones, like the Medal of Honor Allied Assault back in the day.
Like
when,
the original ones? Yeah.
When multiplayer was done with 4 controllers hooked up to the same system.
Yes.
Those were the
That
You were
best.
mad because your friends didn't put on the paintball glitch or cheat for GoldenEye. You were like, man, I want my giant pencil to shoot paintballs at the wall.
Dude, you have
I
to have.
didn't even
You have
care.
to
It
have
was
the
just
paintball on.
when
Yo, did you play the
games
007
started
games
becoming.
for PS2?
Huh?
The 007 games for PS2, Nightfire and GoldenEye.
Yeah,
all that
Nightfire is an amazing game.
shit?
I love
Nightfire
that
was
game.
my shit, yo. That
So
was awesome.
good. Dude, the snow level where you guide the missile. Oh, incredible.
Dude,
I
with the
love
little
it.
sentinel
me,
missiles.
it's-
Yes, yes. Oh,
Yes.
so good.
Fuck yeah.
I love that game.
But for the question at hand, for me, I have nothing against, Call of Duty or Halo. I don't like them as games because every time they release a new one, it is essentially $60 DLC because nobody gives 2 shits about the single player. It's 2 hours of I don't give a shit. And if I'm going to put that kind of money out, I want to have bang for my buck. I can go out and play Tribes Ascend, which is a fantastic free-to-play first-person shooter, and I don't have to worry about ever having to put money on that game. People who like COD, I have nothing against them. If you like COD, that's your thing. I bought Black Ops because I had it for like $5, like right when it came out. But I don't appreciate their sales model, which is why I don't like the games. Games like the free-to-play games like Team Fortress 2 and Tribes Ascend, if I want a first-person shooter experience, I can get that with them. Or even the way that I believe Gotham City Imposters, which came out recently, their model is still infinitely better than Call of Duty or Battlefield or Homefront. All of these games that came out and frankly are just not very good at us outside of their multiplayer because they're not doing anything outside of their multiplayer. I think that they were better suited to saying, have a fully based out MMO where you can spend with microtransactions or to buy maps and such instead of saying, oh, here, spend $15 for 2 maps. I can spend $15 on Steam and get a real game that I'm going to play for 60 hours. Or I can spend $15 and get 2 maps that, I might play for 2 minutes and then get bored, which is a big issue I have with Call of Duty Online. I get bored really easily.
Yeah,
but that's my thing. Any first-person shooter that bases their thing on online that isn't LAN.
There you go.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. COD it really peaked at COD 4, and after that, they've just kind of been rehashing it every year and selling it for $50.
They realized, wait, COD 4 is really good, and everybody loves this. Let's just re-release it. So that was.
And then they complain that they don't patch it.
Yeah.
Wait a year, you'll have a new game that you can buy instead of them patching it.
Exactly.
That's the patch. Are you kidding me? That's the $60 patch?
With all the FPS hate going on right now, I am going to say, though, that I really love Halo 1 and Halo 2. Those games, I have a lot of fun with them.
No, I even enjoy Halo 3. That was really good. There was a lot of buzz when it came out, and I think it lived up to it, and it really gave a lot of shout-outs to Halo 1 and 2 fans. And the multiplayer was really fun. They had the whole Forge thing that you just made, and it was really great for online. Because I remember, I think it came out my second year of high school, and literally everyone in my class would be in the same lobby, and we'd all play together. And it was really great.
I think Reach is also a lot of fun. I just don't think it's anywhere near the same competitive level as Halo 1 and Halo 2 were for multiplayer.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I still had fun with it. As far as game is a whole franchise that I hate, I kind of dislike the Call of Duty franchise as of late just for rehashing. But then again, I can't say I dislike the whole franchise because it's not like every game in the franchise was bad.
Well, yeah, the old Call of Duties were good. The old Medal of Honors were good. Like I said, I just don't like first-person shooters who are based 100% on multiplayer. They have a 30-minute campaign that nobody cares about. Mm-hmm. You can use your business model and put everything in one game and update it regularly, and you could use microtransactions, and you would still make a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, as much, Jake.
Even with things like Forge in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, you have so much stuff you can do just by yourself. It's the entertainment value is there for a long time. I recreated an F-Zero X track in Forge in Reach.
Well, see, that's the other thing that Halo has. Halo has a true modding scene where you can make maps. You don't have that in Call of Duty. If Call of Duty had that, I would have no issues with them doing whatever the hell they wanted, because then they're actually supporting the creativity of their fan base, and they might not even have to make a game every year to keep money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I got another one for you guys, and it's because somebody brought it up in the chat. Anything video game related that had to do with a movie, ever?
There are exceptions to that, I feel.
I love Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is the obvious one. Spider-Man 2, I think, is a fantastic game. I spent so long playing that game. Basically, my friend got it for the GameCube.
How did you spend so long playing that game? The game was shorter than
No, because me and my friend
make a penis joke.
Look, you ever just slung around the city?
Exactly. Dude,
Well, yeah, that's the whole appeal of the entire fucking game, though.
exactly, but that's what you do. You just jump off the Empire State Building and are about to die, and then you just swing away. It's fantastic. But basically, my friend got it on the GameCube. I was at his house. We played it for 5 hours straight. We came over to my house, and we played it for another 5 hours straight. It was fucking awesome. I loved that game. Really good.
But see, here's the thing: with things like Spider-Man and Batman, it's not. They're not just pulling from a movie.
Fucking I guess Arkham is
Arkham isn't based on any movies, so it doesn't really count.
You
it's
have
kind of
those,
like a franchise that was made into a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is, using the perfect example of Prince of Persia, the game based off the video, or based off the movie, based off the game. It's direct drawing from the video. I have nothing wrong with, the Spider-Man franchise or the Batman franchise, because there is so much canon around there between all of the comics that have come out over the years. They can draw things from movies, which are based off the comics usually anyway. So there's a different sense there than I put out the Green Lantern and made the video game of Green Lantern the movie, and it is terrible.
Yeah.
I remember,
that's where I have an issue, and that's why I don't think you can ever create a proper video game based movie or movie based video game, because the mediums are so different. You can't put a 2-hour movie in a 100-hour game, or vice versa. It never works.
Did you see the Doom movie with The Rock? That was horrible.
Yes.
It was terrible.
There was the scene when they tried to make it nostalgic.
Person?
Sorry, yeah. When it was first person, and it was like, no, why did you do this?
That was just a bad idea.
The Resident Evil movies do well, but they're not based off the video game, aside from the fact that they have Resident Evil in their name.
Yeah.
You look at movies like the like the original video game based movies, like Mario. That movie was terrible, but it was a cult classic now.
That was a good movie, though.
Mortal Kombat that came out. The movie itself isn't very good. It just had a strong following because it became a cult movie. And in those sense, they're fine, but they're those really bad movies that just are good. So, I don't think they can ever properly coexist. I think maybe in the future they can find ways to do it. If you look at Kingdoms of Amalur as a reference, because they have so many people from so many places working on one project, I think then you can make a proper one. But until then, I think that between them and first-person shooters that are based on online, those are the bane of my existence. And I hate them with every fiber of my being.
So funny.
I would still someday, hopefully it would be good, but I would love to see a God of War movie. Just on like the sheer scale of how epic it could be.
It would be very
But
cool.
they'll probably make it horribly.
Here's
the thing, though. It would essentially just be the next Wrath of the Titans, which is going to suck. Yeah. Because the first one, the remake was just bloody.
Has anyone
awful.
seen The Immortals?
Not yet, no. Apparently.
It is a great movie.
Really?
Honestly, I loved it.
Oh.
I don't care what anyone says. It was awesome. I went there to watch fight scenes, and it was great.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yes. I was going to say they should make a sequel to it and make reference to Kratos.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, back to I hate a franchise.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't hate franchise. I just put a shit ton of games in one category and say fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate.
I can't think of one franchise I just hate every game in. It's just a collection of games I despise, just from random.
This whole time I've been sitting here thinking, not really paying attention to what you guys are saying, and just like going, what set of games do I just not care for? And I couldn't really come up with a legitimate one.
No.
Except for I got really bored of the Guitar Hero franchise, because that's
I don't think that really counts.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't really count. Yeah. But for me, one thing, I wouldn't say I hated the franchise, but I don't give a flying fuck.
I thought of one. I thought of one.
You go.
But it's everyone hates it.
Okay.
It's called NFL Head Coach.
Oh, that's not a real game.
That counts.
I know.
It's not a real game.
But the franchise I was going to say, I don't really hate it, per se. It's just I don't really give a fuck about any of the games that come out in it, is the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I've never even... No, I just really haven't been acclimated to it. And I've tried to play the games before, I just don't care. Like, I played the 3DS demo for the upcoming release on the 3DS game, and I just got bored. I was like, I don't care about this. This shit is... No, it's not for me. I don't know. I just... Doesn't really work for me, so it's just a franchise I'm not really caring too much about.
Well, I can see that considering how you're really into Nintendo. I mean, I had MGS2 on PS2, and I spent hours playing that game. That was a really great game, just all around.
I guess
I can see how like the newer games that came out, like after Sons of Liberty, how they can be like not appealing at all. And if you're not like a fan of the franchise, that you really don't interest yourself in that.
Also, I'm not a fan of sitting through 2.5-hour cutscenes, so that happens.
So you've never played Kingdom Hearts then?
No, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
I like the idea of Final Fantasy
You're missing
more
out.
than I actually
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts is a franchise that I'm definitely wanting to get into. I just never have really had the chance to do so, but it's something I'm interested in.
It takes a lot of hours to get into it. I mean,
that's the game that's on my list, and I like the idea of Final Fantasy more than I actually like playing it.
Me too.
I've got a lot going on, so I'm typically like I need to pick up something for maybe like an hour and that's it. And that's something you can't do with Final Fantasy. I need a whole fucking day to play that game and like accomplish something, because you play for 5 minutes and then there's a 20-minute cutscene at least, and then you play for like maybe 10 minutes more and then there's another cutscene. I can't handle that.
I like it when people say, "Oh, Final Fantasy 13 gets good around the 30-hour mark." You realize it's not really a point in its favor, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I never made it that far. I won a copy of that game, and I probably played it for an hour as a kid. No, thanks a lot.
Okay, in Zero Punctuation's review of Final Fantasy 13, he said, "All right, so I only played the first 5 hours of this game until I stopped, so that's what I'll be reviewing, the first 5 hours of this game." And he said it was literally you walk down like 3 different straight corridors and you just have a series of battles with jointly.
I do not care what the fuck people say about Final Fantasy 13. I really like that game a lot. I really enjoy it. And
Did you ever play a good game?
No, dude, look. Okay.
Got him.
Look, people can have opinions that differ from mine, and I'll respect them for it, but they're still wankers.
Look, I do not give a flying fuck about side quests in RPGs. I never have done. Final Fantasy 13 doesn't have any of that explorative bullshit. I enjoy the story. I think the battling mechanics are fantastic. I really like how streamlined it is, the fact that you're healed after every battle, the fact that the battles are so much concentrated, you have to basically put all your effort into each thing and think a lot while you're doing it. And every fight is very intense, and there's lots of things you can mess with. I find it a very interesting game, and I enjoy it a lot. I've not finished it yet. I'm about 35 hours in, but okay, sure.
Worst game.
That just completely voided everything else that you were saying to try and defend it.
Only 15 more hours until it starts getting good.
No, it's already good, man. It's already good. I took 50 hours to beat Skyward Sword, so I've put not even that much amount of time into it yet.
I have to say this now before I forget, for anyone who's interested, NBA Street and NFL Street, the most legit sports games you'll ever play in your whole life.
Hell yes, son!
Yeah.
I love NBA Street.
Special delivery. That's like my favorite thing that it says.
Those are some pretty legit games.
Yeah. So yeah, we butchered that question. But thanks for calling, Scott.
Go buy me my knife set, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jake. On floor.
Okay.
All right, peace, guys.
See ya.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. If we have anyone else,
Hold on.
It's Sky Guy.
we can try.
You can try it.
We'll try him again.
Yeah, try to get him again.
If not, then that's fine.
If not, if you don't have anybody else, we can call it a show.
We're almost at 2.5.
Oh, he's ready!
Okay.
Robotnik
Great.
is sexy. Are you ready to be called?
He says he's ready, so let's call him.
Can't see him.
For this?
His face
You have to hit.
appearing.
You have to.
Okay, here we go. Got it.
Someone's asking if this is live. I just blew his mind.
Okay, I have no idea where I need to click to get him in.
The
You're
little
badass.
plus sign.
Yeah.
Hit +, add people to call, and then you'll see
You.
Robotnik is sexy. And you just call.
+,
Okay, I got it.
me, =, us.
Got it. Hello?
Someone got
Right.
it.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey.
there.
Hello, Mr. Robot Guy.
What would you like us to call you? Robotnik is just sexy, or what do you want?
Either Itsuki or Robotnik is sexy. I
So
don't
we're
really
gonna call
care.
you Phil. Okay, Phil, what's your question?
Yeah.
You can call me
I'm
Phil.
gonna go with
like-
Jeffrey. Alright, Jeffrey, what's your question?
what
just
is
kidding.
your favorite? Oh, okay. You're kidding about the question.
No, I'm thinking
what-
about Robotnik.
We're actually.
That's
What
Dale
was your
Buddy.
question?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, what are your favorite Smash characters? Like 64 Melee.
Okay.
I have an erection.
I do too.
We're gonna let Ferris start off with this one because he clearly knows the least about this
Wait,
game.
I already know
I'll
what
let-
Ferris is gonna say.
I'll let my man Ryan go first. Ryan.
Wait.
Wait.
Ferris' favorite character? Wait, Ryan, wait. Ferris'
Okay.
favorite character is Meta Knight.
Yeah, you should say that. I knew it.
Everybody knows
He's
that.
very fair and balanced.
That's what I heard.
Meta Knight's actually really balanced if you're completely smashed and you're not even playing. Like if you leave the controller there and you just let him stand still, he's actually
You
kind of
lose like half the time.
yeah.
Alright,
He actually has hitboxes on his idle animations too. Like so he
Best character.
That's a joke for any idiots out there who thought I was being serious.
I get it.
Okay.
All right, go Ryan.
Okay, so for the original Smash 64, I'd have to say Captain Falcon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Captain Falcon is fun as shit to play, but Pikachu's just really good.
Forward air.
And, yeah, forward arrow. For 64, or Melee, sorry. I'm sorry, I haven't slept in a long time. Seriously, I haven't. But I play Smash Bros competitively. I haven't played in tournaments recently, however. But I main Marth. I play
nice.
Jigglypuff and Dr. Mario as my secondaries. I like playing Captain Falcon because anyone that plays Melee knows it's fun as shit.
Yeah.
And then as unfortunate as it is, I played Brawl.
Ryan,
And,
we played ball together with fucking
Yeah,
Ross.
Yeah,
Oh,
MVZ.
I'll play Brawl with you guys.
No, I will admit this. I will admit this right now on the podcast for everyone to hear. Brawl was single-handedly the game that I had ever been the most excited for to be released. The hype that I had for Brawl was
No, me too.
Like, I was so excited for that game.
It's
It was
just a giant
ridiculous.
letdown, too, which is the worst part.
For a while, I was in denial. I was kind of like, yeah, this is good. I'm having fun, right? Right?
While he's crying.
Through his tears. Through his tears.
No, I played Diddy Kong and
I heard that if you go play for about
Diddy Kong,
30
like-
hours, Brawl becomes about good.
Like if you play Brawl, you can be excused if you play Diddy Kong because Diddy Kong's legit.
he's
Like
fun to
I'll say that. Like
cool.
he
I
is.
just threw bananas and made what's his name rage.
But, yeah.
He shall not be mentioned. Can we
But,
refer to him as that?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. so for me, I guess it would be in 64. I played Captain Falcon. He was my main, and then I also played Fox a little bit, and then in Melee, Falco's my main. I played Captain Falcon kind of as a secondary, and then Fox just for when I was getting railed with all my other characters, just as a backup.
Fox, yeah.
Yeah. And then, also I mainly played Fox in teams, and then if anyone went Doc, because I hate playing Doc as Falco. So, then, in Brawl, for the amount of time I did play, I still played Falco, but then after a while I realized Diddy Kong is just legit. He's a lot of fun. So I played him for that the rest of that time, and that was pretty much it for me.
Cool. No one else here plays competitively, so we just do the fun skis.
There we go.
I play Captain Falcon because I like wombo comboing bitches.
Jake just wombo combos by himself with Captain Falcon.
Exactly.
True story.
No, you can.
See, I'm like
obviously.
Pimp Knight. I
Right.
have 4 controllers going out, and I play all 4 characters.
No, Ryan, you're clearly forgetting the rule number 8 on the list of rules for Melee that I made. Only Jeff can do that.
Yeah, I remember.
So
Usually you set your controller down too.
if you don't get it, that's okay, because only about like me and like 3 other people, one being Ryan, actually know what the rules of Melee are. The true rules of Melee.
Yeah.
I can actually pull it up. I can pull it up right now.
No, I am Final Destination, etc., etc. Anyway.
No, here it is. Here it is.
No.
Rule number 0. It's kind of a sub rule. You suck at Melee. Get over it. Rule 1. Don't get hit.
Man.
Rule 2. Never pillar Luigi. And pillaring is just a way of comboing. And don't do it to Luigi. It won't work. Rule 3. Don't roll. Rule 4. No matter what, in every Melee video you ever watch, Dreamland will always be playing in the background. 5. Isaiah is good. Isaiah is a really good player. Rule number 6. Nair. That's just an attack. Rule 7. Isaiah is too good. Rule number 8. Only Jeff can do that. Rule number 9. Shroom sucks, but he's actually good, but he sucks. 10. Don't actually say where you're at. It's a rhetorical question.
Yes! The Wombo Cup.
That's the best rule of all time.
That is Falco. That is Falco.
Aw, Ferris, it's depressing that they think that's a reference.
If they follow those rules, if you follow those 10 rules in the one sub rule, you'll do fine in Melee.
Great. Thanks
Except
for the
NBZ, as he sucks at all the games.
Exactly.
And then also Ross, because he's just a bag of dicks at Smash Bros. In general.
Also, it's 11. If you play Brawl for 30 hours, it eventually gets good.
No, fuck you.
I play Samus all the time, always, because
I like Samus as well.
I like shooting the big bullet thing.
Yes, I agree. The big bullet thing. Go.
I think we have our next Daryl over here.
Yep.
I played Kirby because I liked being everything.
Oh, true. That. I like, I don't know, I like the Fire Emblem characters in general.
Roy and Marth?
In both games. In Brawl and Melee, and...
They're good people, except Ike.
Yeah, Ike's cool. I just think he's a little bit too slow for my tastes, but he's still cool.
I don't know. Talk to Ross about that
Did you
one.
ever play the game? He's such a badass.
He is a pretty big badass, yeah. But yeah, no, I guess Fire Emblem characters, and I usually just randomize my characters because I didn't give a fuck. So I'll just go as anyone.
He gave no fucks.
The best thing is when you beat your friends as Peach, and they're like, "The fuck, dude." That's great.
Well, Peach is kind of like
Peach
Blissey.
is kind of like really good.
She's kind of like Blissey. She doesn't die.
She got top tier.
Yeah.
Also,
Did you know that?
Also, real men use items, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Fuck your couch.
No, 99 lives, sudden death, high bombs all day.
Sure.
I
don't know
just
what
get the
that means.
baseball bat and win.
Bombs on high, so like bombs spawn constantly, and it's sudden
I
death
get
mode, so
the
you have
mallet
300%.
hammer thing.
So you spawn with 300%, and then you have 99 lives, and just go to town on each other. It's fun as hell.
Okay, how about we let our caller, Phil Jeffrey Itzky, whatever his name is, on
Robotnik.
Robotnik.
Yeah. Where you go? Who's you got?
I'm here. I don't know about the other guy.
No,
who's
we're
your
asking
guy?
what your favorite Brawl or your favorite Smash characters are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just less eloquently than that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I always liked the big heavy guys. I don't know why, but I do. So I played DK and Yoshi and Mario and 64 and the big three for me. And then for Melee, I played Bowser a lot. Even though he's terrible, I still played him a lot. And I played DK a lot. And
I played
Doc
Ganondorf
Mario.
a lot in Melee.
Ganondorf's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really funny because he was like middle tier, and then in Brawl he gets his own tier for bottom. And it's really funny how that worked. So everyone who played Ganondorf was really sad when Brawl came out. But I actually resisted him for some reason because my friend always picked him, so we had like a rivalry going, and I would play Bowser and he'd play Ganondorf.
Oh.
And we just, yeah, we would have like a heavy mashup. We just, do stuff.
Oh
like
shit! All right, I hear tornado sirens outside my window, so I should probably get off Skype right now.
Ferris, don't die.
I won't
Yeah,
die.
All right.
I'll be
I
fine.
believe
Before
in you.
Ferris leaves, I'm gonna go plug his channel. Go subscribe to Ferris Wheel 32.
Yeah, he's gonna do an awesome Pokemon cipher.
Hell yeah.
Damn. I am. I'm
Yeah, I
prepared.
heard he got called
Unless
out
he
on-
gets blown away.
Actually, my
Yeah.
parents aren't yelling at me to get off the internet, so I'm gonna wait for a second until it becomes obviously bad. Because I'm looking out my window and it doesn't look too bad. So,
It's fine. There's no
outside,
cows floating
towards-
outside my window. It's
looks good
fine.
that way. The sky is navy blue in that direction. That might not be good.
Oh,
Well then.
Ferris Ranger.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on. I don't care enough.
Okay. Well, if we hear some windy noises during the podcast, we know what's
It
happened.
won't be Zed for a first time this
Oh,
year.
okay.
I was
I
about
know,
to say,
Anyway. Thanks, Robotnik, for calling in. We appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no problem.
All right, thanks.
See you later.
Bye.
And
Well.
I think
Yes.
that's going to do it for this podcast.
indeed,
So let us go ahead and shamelessly promote ourselves.
I
Who
think
wants to
we
go
start-
first?
I think we should start with Ryan. Ryan,
All right.
you are
Yes.
uploading this week on your channel.
Oh man, nothing. I don't have a channel, really.
Yeah, you do.
I do. It has 1 subscriber. I believe it's MBZ.
Hey, high five.
I think it
Hey,
actually
I'm
is
subscribed
1
to you.
subscriber.
I think I
I
am.
thought you unsubbed. Oh, you
No, I
bastard.
didn't.
You resubbed.
I didn't unsub. Yeah,
Okay, one
I
sec.
never unsubbed in the first
I'm
place.
going to my channel right now to admire it.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only
Ryan,
person.
Ryan, if I'm unsubbed, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. If
I
I'm
don't
not.
actually know. I haven't been on it in a long time.
I care more about Ryan's approval than I do about anybody else's.
True.
I have 7 subscribers. Damn.
Wow.
Maybe that's
you're
from
big
getting
time, bud.
NBZ.
Huh?
Okay, so yeah, it's NBZ and Ferris are both subscribed to me, and they're famous people. I'm not gonna link my channel, but you should subscribe to me.
Yeah.
All right then.
I didn't-
What is your channel?
I'm not gonna link it. No, I'm not gonna
Okay.
say anything.
If you find
All right.
it, then you're a lucky man.
There you go.
Or woman.
Good luck.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Alright.
Let's
So
Ferris go next. Second surprise guest.
Okay, my channel is Ferris Wheel 32. I do
Cool
videos
shiz,
of
apparently.
sorts. I do cool shiz. Yeah, that's still my tagline on my
He
channel.
created Epic Wheel Time, which
I-
is automatically a reason to subscribe.
Corey.
Uh-oh.
He has to go.
Yep.
Anyway,
Has to go now.
Ferris
'cause
has to go.
hurricanes.
But we do know that Ferris is a very awesome dude. He does Pokemon things. He's doing
He
a
is
cipher.
a genius.
He's going to do a cipher very soon, so you should definitely subscribe to Ferris's channel if you want to see a cipher from him, which will undoubtedly
He plays.
be amazing.
He plays Smash, so he's.
He plays
awesome.
Smash as well, so you go.
He's
go,
a good guy.
go
Yeah, he's good. He's good people.
Good guy,
for a
Ferris.
Wheel.
Nubs, what are you doing on your channel?
I don't know, man. I rendered some Minecraft today, so we're gonna have some Nick, Stevo, and Zed Minecraft action this week. I'm hoping. Gonna
Awesome.
upload that, and then not on my channel in particular, but I mentioned earlier that Spade and I recorded some Uncharted 2 co-op, which was a lot of fun, and Spade will be uploading that to his channel. So if you want to see that, then you can go check his stuff out. But just the usual Pokemon stuff. If I get called out for a cipher, then maybe that will happen as well, but we'll have to see. So
You said wheel.
we'll have to see indeed.
Ferris wheel. Have to see.
Ferris will have to see.
Damn son.
Awesome.
So there you go.
Word.
What about you, Mikey?
Well, typical Pokemon things. I'm going to be doing some TCG videos. I'm doing a lot of testing lately, preparing for regionals, which I will be attending, and I'm going to win.
Obviously.
Even though it's my first big TCG tournament, so I'm just going to go in and win it as a complete unknown. Playing a
balls
deck
deep.
that I'm not fully confident in, so let's go.
You could be like Star Wars Kid. If anyone even knows what I'm referring to, probably not. Now that I say
Oh
that.
yeah, that's old school.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, the guy in his garage, right?
No. Okay, so I play Magic competitively.
Okay.
Go to tournaments and stuff, right?
You must
In
have a lot of money to spend.
2006, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. It might have been 2005. There was at Worlds. There was an event where a person, his name was Chris McDaniels, he was known as Star Wars Kid, quote unquote, because he transferred to Magic from the Star Wars card game.
Okay.
And he showed up with a combo deck, and he swept Swiss. He was like 18-0.
Shit.
And he went in the finals, and he came in second. And the reason he lost was because the other guy top decked like a madman, like 3 turns in a row, and just shut down his combo and won.
See, that's what I do.
It was hilarious. But yeah, they called him Star Wars Kid, and he was a complete unknown to the tournament, and he just won. The more you know.
Yes.
Some random guy called Andrew G 2010 just tried to call me. I have no idea why. I just thought I'd say that.
All right.
The more you know.
But yeah, I'm getting prepared for regionals, so I'm going to be doing a lot of TCG videos. Maybe you'll see those. Also, on my channel, I found one of my childhood games that I'm very excited about. It's called NBA Fast Break 98. There's like one video on YouTube about it, and it's like 30 seconds long. So I'm going to be playing that game for like an LP, I think.
Excellent.
It's a basketball game, so if you like basketball, it's going to be fine. It's going to be awesome. It's like, I have so many fond memories playing that game, so I'm going to play it for an LP. That's what I do. And I think
what you do is you do 3 episodes and then forget about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
On the subject of LPs, I will also be finishing Metroid Fusion this week for those interested in my LP channel. So there you go.
And I think that'll be it for my channel and stuff that's going on there. So Jake, what are we seeing from you? Beyond the Podcast?
Yeah, Beyond the Podcast will come out sometime this week. I'll probably talk about the Wasteland Kickstarter again. Because there is some new news coming about from that side of things. And then, by the time I do it, it'll be a few days from now. There'll be something else in the news to talk about briefly. For those of you who are unaware of what Beyond the Podcast is, it is a sister show to this podcast, where we go into some of the things that we don't get a chance to talk about on the show. And what I'd like to do is have, fans or people, much like the calling in segment, which would have questions they could email into beyondthepodcast@gmail.com, and those topics will end up on the show. It is something I typically do on my own, but that's not to say that MBZ or Fizz may not appear one day if I'm doing it and they're around. Other than that, I have obviously some League of Legends stuff that goes on.
That's a good game.
Yes, I actually have Ryan on, even though we've played like once.
Hey man, what's up?
I have some stuff coming up from there. I might do some Dota 2 stuff because I've been playing a lot of it this week. Outside of that, we'll see. I have games that I may do LPs of. We'll see. But I don't want to go ahead and say, I'm going to do an LP and then never start it. But pretty much Beyond the Podcast.
Who would do that?
Me, always, all the time, baby.
The VOD for this, of course, depending on how things go, may see some Star Wars stuff. If anything worth posting gets recorded. But for the most part, pretty much Beyond the Podcast, any sort of League clips that I have going on. I have a League video that will go out in the next 2 days. And that's about it.
There you go.
Konami Code NL.
LOL!
Easy.
I'm gonna bring that back soon.
Sure.
You better.
It's just gonna be on my main channel, so you'll see it when it happens. But I absolutely do want to start doing that again.
Yeah.
Even Jake likes it, and Jake doesn't like anything.
Yeah.
Is he like Mikey?
Talking about, I just don't like Kotaku.
No, you like Konami Code NL.
I just don't like Kotaku. I like everything.
No, you hate everything.
Hate.
Don't talk back.
Things.
Anyway, that's going to be it for this week of the podcast. Thank you very much for coming out. And I guess that's bye from all of us.
We'll see you, next time we do one. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
dun 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 use this as outtakes. That'll be good. Yeah.